Hey, what is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to episode 78 of the X Button Gaming Podcast. For this episode, I got James back here with me, and we're going to be doing something that we're excited about, and we're going to talk about our top 10 favorite games of all time.
Let's go. This is an important landmark episode, I think.
For the lore, the Chris and James lore that people have been just hungry for.
I know. People seem so confused about what our favorite games are when we ask them to guess, you know? Like, I feel like what they're going to find is that we've spent, what is it, 78 episodes so far?
Plus at extra bonus episodes that I don't have
right.
counted in the total.
I think they're going to find we've spent nearly 80 episodes telling you exactly what our favorite games of all time are.
I mean, there might be some surprises in there, but for the most part, I think anybody listening who's listened to a decent number of episodes will be like, oh yeah, that made sense.
Yeah.
Whether they guessed or not.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And as part of it, this was kind of the idea was behind this was it's coming up on the 4th anniversary of the podcast, which is crazy. I started it when Metroid Dread came out. I was so hyped and so ready to talk about it. It just pushed me into being like, I'm just going to do this. Like I've said before, I wanted to start a website or a blog for a long time, and a podcast just seemed like I talk better than I write. Though the Abiotic Factor, my talking about how I love Abiotic Factor in the last episode would maybe say otherwise. But that's why I went with it. But it's been a blast. Lots of people listen. Lots of people support it. We've made lots of new friends, gotten closer to old friends. It's been great.
It's the best, man. On behalf of all the listeners, let me wish you a very happy X-iversary. Happy X-iversary.
Oh, God.
Happy X-iversary. Happy X-iversary. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I hated that. But I also loved it.
When is that? When is the 4th anniversary?
It's like October 1st or 2nd or something.
Oh,
it's
sweet.
like the beginning of October.
Right around the corner. Yeah, by the time you get your next episode up, it might have already passed.
Yeah, so it was just like timing-wise for recording and making it happen, it just fit to do it now. But basically, this is kind of an early celebration of the 4th anniversary of the podcast.
Let's go.
So excited to do it. Thank you again for everybody who's been supporting this podcast for the last 4 years. It's been great. I've been able to, like I said, make new friends, been able to reach out to other, podcasters, both locally and far away, other YouTube people, and it's been a blast. So
absolutely.
But also as part of a thank you to everybody listening, we decided to do a giveaway for this episode. So everybody who turned in before we started recording their guesses for our top 10 lists was entered into. I'm going to give away a copy of the recently announced Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 remaster, I guess, for the Switch. So the person who gets closest will win that. I'll have it shipped directly to them on release day in October. And we got a decent amount of entries, so I'm excited to see what people's thoughts are on that as we get to it.
You've already name-dropped Metroid Dread, Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Are they teases for potential top 10 entries?
Goodness.
I don't know.
They're somebody's top 10 for sure.
Absolutely they are.
Maybe they're ours.
Are they ours? I don't know.
Maybe. Well, you'll have to wait to see. Ooh, the suspense is killing you, isn't it? Don't go away. If this is your first time, don't go away yet just because you can't win this prize.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, seriously, thank you, everybody. Before we get started into the main topic, I just wanted to touch on a few random things really quick. One, we just had a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
And that was, Nintendo Directs are always a big thing. What did you think of the Direct, James?
Solid 7.5 to 8.5 out of 10. It was good, man. Honestly, it was good. It was a little bit of a nightmare as a collector and an amiibo collector specifically, like good and bad. Like, oh my gosh, these amiibos are so cool. Oh my gosh, there's so many more all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh, they're so expensive.
They're like $60.
Yeah.
What's happening? No, it was a good Direct, man. They opened with the Mario, was it 40th anniversary stuff?
Yeah. That was kind of interesting. So we were leaving for Crater Lake that morning. So I was already in the car driving and I put it on and, kind of sort of watched it, mainly listened while I drove. And Jasmine's like, why do they keep talking about Mario? I'm like, they literally just said it's his 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
It's a big year for Mario.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff. The Mario Galaxy movie announcement, that's next year. So that will probably be good. The first one was good.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, but that and the Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 announcement, and then the Yoshi's favorite book or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah, Yoshi and the Mysterious Book, which, by the way, Hannah named the title before they actually announced the title while we were watching the direct live. She's like, wow, it's Yoshi and a mysterious book. And then like, the title came up, and we started cracking up to each other like, wow.
Hannah should work for Nintendo.
Wow,
she basically named it for them.
She'd be a great localization expert or something.
Yeah, she already knows a lot of Japanese. But yeah, I mean, like Mario Tennis looked pretty good too. Like as far as it having kind of like a story mode, I thought that was cool. Like a callback a little bit more to the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance Mario Tennises.
Yeah.
That were done by Camelot.
Yeah.
Of Golden Sun fame. You know?
For sure.
Another game that could possibly be on one of our top 10 lists.
Absolutely, it could be.
But yeah, well, just to like kind of like not spend too much time talking about the direct, but highlight really quick. What were your favorite things that they talked about?
What was my favorite things they talked about in the direct? You know, I'm just gonna keep swinging back to it. Metroid Prime 4. It's exciting to see that it's coming, and there's an actual date now. So I have to mention it. I know I kind of like rambled and went off on the Discord a little bit. Like I was a little down about how little it seemed to be featured, especially when it was like shorter compared to Suika game or something that came right before it. But
Yeah.
I think, you know, I got a little sleep. I started thinking about it and was trying to be like honest with myself, and I'm like, this is going to have a direct of its own. It's going to. It's just like the features they've had of Metroid Prime 4 so far have been very abbreviated, but also have like these surprising features. Like, Samus now has supernatural powers. And then they don't touch on it very much at all. And then they're like, oh, Samus has this sweet Extreme G like bike that she rides.
Oh, Kinetica.
Kinetica. I thought first of Extreme G.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely more Extreme G. Joel just posted that Kinetica photo in the Discord, and it looked pretty, and that made me laugh because that's a very obscure game.
Yeah. That said, I went back and watched the trailer again after my ramblings and you know, just with a cleaner thought process, and I watched it on the Nintendo Today app, and I've got to say it looked a lot better on the second time around than it did on the Direct, and I think it's because the video files are compressed maybe on YouTube where we watched it. It looked so much better on the Nintendo Today app, and maybe that's the reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe I just had a fresher mind and I don't know, more open mind to it, but it looks really good, dude. And I still am a little upset about the release date because it means no matter how good the game is, even if it blows everyone away, it's probably not going to be at the Game Awards in any but
which is disappointing because Metroid Prime 1 never really got its fair share of like notice because it came out around the same time as Halo and stuff, and you know, it just kind of got overshadowed. Even though it was completely, you know, it's not the same type. They're both first-person shooters, sci-fi first-person shooters, but they're very different. Yeah,
I'm confident it'll be good at the very least, and I'm very excited for it. And that was probably my favorite thing that got me excited. A lot of the Pokemon stuff was pretty interesting. The weird Ditto farm sim was creepy and very funny looking.
Pokopia?
Yeah, Pokopia.
I was like, man, people, the weirdos out there are going to have a heyday with this.
Oh, man.
Ditto transforms to humans now for real.
Oh, no.
Not good.
There's going to be some weird fan fiction that's already probably been released.
Yeah, it probably already was, and it's just going to get weirder now.
Yeah. What did you like?
Well, for one, the Virtual Boy.
Oh my gosh!
That was super random.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
Yeah, I was very shocked to see that. The fact that 14 games, and it looked like Jack Bros is going to be one of them at release. Jack Bros is like $1,000 cartridge, $2,000 game. Like,
are you serious?
Yeah, it's very expensive, and it's supposed to be one of like only 2 games on the console that are widely considered to actually be good.
Yeah.
You know, I believe most of the other games are probably, you get your mileage out of them according to your own appreciation. But
yeah,
Wario Land Virtual Boy, what's it called? Virtual Land? Whatever. Just Wario Land on Virtual Boy.
Sure.
And Jack Bros are the 2 that are like pretty widely considered great games. And if both of those are coming, I mean, nobody needs to own a real Virtual Boy anymore. If they don't want to, they can get this. I mean, I have my Virtual Boy, but I'm excited for this. This will make it easier.
Are you going to get it?
Well, yeah. No.
You'll feel better about playing on this one and not having to touch the one that you actually have.
Yeah, I don't bring my Virtual Boy down very often just because, like, it's 30 years old. Like, and it's fragile. Like, Like
I'd be scared to handle it in any like
Yeah.
capacity.
Yeah, and I love that thing. It makes a great display piece just in itself. But this will be nice because now I can play through things without having to worry about bringing that down.
Absolutely. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do they already have like the first wave of pre-orders for that and they sold out, or is that something I just heard?
I was really busy that weekend, so if it happened, I missed it, and I don't know. I assume if. Okay, so here's the thing. From what I've read, you need this device to actually play the games. Like,
Yes.
it's that, some people, have speculated that maybe you can use it without it. It just won't look necessarily right, but you can still play them.
Didn't they also announce some cheaper like cardboard
thing,
peripheral
yeah.
that's very similar to what's the cardboard games that they had on Switch?
The
again?
Labo.
Basically Labo Virtual Boy.
Yeah, it did. It made me think of Labo right away. Which, of course, that would be a nice, cheaper entry point for anybody. But the fact that it looks like a nice, like
Dude,
actual Virtual Boy,
It looks premium.
yeah, and then your Switch, docks into it so you can use it. I think the most amazing thing to me is just about everybody just kind of felt like Nintendo wanted just to pretend the Virtual Boy didn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
There's very little fanfare for it. They very rarely talk about it, bring anything back. The 3DS was the ideal time period to bring the Virtual Boy to a virtual console, and they didn't. So everybody kind of just assumed they're never going to do anything with it. But this was a shocker to me, and I'm excited. I just think it's a cool way for people to experience these games.
I agree. I think that was the coolest announcement in this Direct, and it wasn't even a game, right? Like, again, this was a very collector, physical, heavy Direct. Like,
oh, yeah, and then the what's it called, the Wonder Flower,
Yeah.
too, like the talking Wonder Flower. I was like, well,
talking
crap,
Wonder-
I don't need that, but I want it.
yeah. Did they show any footage of it talking or making any noises or
I
anything?
mean, it talked in that commercial or in the Direct, but
okay.
I don't know if that was like staged, like it actually said it, or if they just made it seem like it did.
Yeah. There's some interesting drops, and just takes you back to the Nintendo roots where they were originally a toy designer, and they've never ever left that. And if anything, they're digging in deeper into that history of them and kind of identity of themselves.
And I'm all right with it.
I love it.
I like spending money on this junk. It's fun to have on display and stuff.
Yeah, it's just hard on our pocketbooks.
Yeah. How big your pocketbook?
Yes.
Most underrated character in Star Wars, if I may. Dex Jetsetter.
Dex Jetsetter.
But yeah, so I'm excited for that. Metroid, obviously. And then Fire Emblem, I'm excited for Fire Emblem fans. The last guest, Zach Daily Beating, he's a huge Fire Emblem fan. And I'm excited. I will buy it and I will play it. Especially since it seems like it's tied to the Three Houses timeline somehow.
Yeah,
I'm not super familiar with all of the timelines and everything in the Fire Emblem universe, but Three Houses was so good. That's all I have to say. If it's connected, I'll definitely play it.
Yeah.
But so I'm excited for people for that. But lots of stuff announced. Maybe not the strongest as far as things that I'm personally all that excited for.
Yeah.
But still a great Direct.
Great Direct. A lot of good things to come. What were you thinking was going to be one last announcement? What were you thinking was going to be the one last game, out of curiosity? Because I had a couple thoughts. And with Fire Emblem out of the way, now I'm down to 3 for whatever their next this is the last thing is going to be.
I don't know. I would anything I'd say I would have come up with right now. So I don't have a set thing that I've been thinking, because Pokemon, they won't announce there usually. They usually save those for the Pokemon things.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mario Odyssey or a Mario game is coming. I think that's what Donkey Kong filled the hole for.
Agreed.
So those would have been my two my two obvious guesses. I don't know. F-Zero would be cool, but I don't see that happening.
I agree. I think most people probably were like, okay, so we still have a 3D Mario coming, and I mean, I'm sure that the Donkey Kong Bonanza team now has that on their slate, or maybe they already have, and they've had a team working on it this whole time. That is more like Nintendo. They don't they're always working on multiple projects. They're never just working on one thing, because
for sure.
That's how they stay successful. But I don't think Mario's coming anytime soon. So I was convinced it was going to be something from whatever the NPD, I don't know what the number is, the team that makes Animal Crossing and Splatoon.
Yeah.
That seems inevitable, and that tends to come early in Nintendo life cycles, Mm-hmm. So I was like, for some reason, the night before, I was like, Animal Crossing, book it, it's coming.
I
was
happen.
totally wrong. Sooner or later, I'm going to be right. I don't know I had a conversation with Hannah too. I'm like, what do you think is coming first? Do you think it's going to be Animal Crossing or Splatoon? Japan loves Splatoon.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Animal Crossing, though. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, I think that's hard. We've got Splatoon 3 came out since Animal Crossing, right?
Yes.
So it seems more likely that it would be an Animal Crossing, but they did do 2 Splatoons in
Yeah.
between the 2 Pokemon games.
And there's
so.
isn't there like that Splatoon side game side? I don't know. I can't remember what it's called.
I'm not that much into Splatoon,
Yeah.
so I don't remember. They probably did do like a story mission DLC like they did for 2, though.
Yeah, I don't know that, or I would say whatever the next Monolith Soft game is, whether it's Xeno related or not. I think that's definitely coming sooner rather than later.
Yeah, man, I would love Monolith to get the rights back for Xenosaga
Yeah.
or
Dude,
Xenogears either.
that'd be crazy.
Even, but
Remake.
yeah, Xenosaga. I just want to play those games again, and they are expensive. I
That'd
wish
be
I'd
great.
never sold them. Yeah, but good direct.
It was good.
I mean, it's cool that the Mario Galaxy game is coming out really soon. I've never played Mario Galaxy 2, so like I'm
Neither have
excited to play it on there. I played and loved Mario Galaxy 1.
Yeah, it was good.
Metroid's coming out this year. That was cool. We got a release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade.
Yep.
And if you pre-order that, wherever you pre-order it from, it comes with a pack of the Magic cards, which is cool too.
Interesting.
VGP and Best Buy both say it in their thing. I think it comes in the case. It's
Yeah.
only $40.
Yeah, but it's a pretty stacked year one for Switch 2, and by design, right? They waited long so that the first year would feel like this. It feels like there is a big launch pretty much every month, if not a couple a month.
Agreed.
And so that's probably ultimately why Metroid Prime 4 had to come when it did, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But my wires are a little crossed because of that.
Well, just on like note of what you said earlier, it seems like a direct has to happen for it.
Yeah.
If for some reason they don't do a direct,
Then
then I will be worried
yeah,
until
I think
played
you're
it.
right. I think you're right.
But I would assume they'll do a direct and talk more about some of the features and stuff. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna play it no matter what.
yeah,
like that's
absolutely.
I don't even if to the world it's a 4 or 5 out of 10. I didn't hate Other M. I hated the story in Other M. The
Sure.
gameplay was fine.
There you go.
But other than that, like I've loved all the Metroid games. So
Yeah.
okay, and then lastly, it's been a while since we've done any kind of one-up and pick-up type thing. I've decided that going forward, we might not do a full one-ups and pickups section where we talk about everything we've bought for the last few months or since the last episode, but instead just every episode, more or less, without any what's the word I'm looking for? Any pressure to anybody. But every episode, anybody who comes on will have the opportunity to talk about some pickups that they've had that they really enjoyed. Generally speaking, video game related, but it doesn't even have to be. If you got like if you're really excited about a movie or a vinyl or probably something in the entertainment realm generally.
Yeah.
But if you're really excited about something you got and you're going to be on the podcast, feel free to talk about it. That's what I want to change this to be more like.
More
Streamlined, more open to talking at the beginning, and then focusing on the main topic a little bit more.
Yeah.
But James, you brought a couple pickups too, right?
I did. Yeah.
So why don't you tell me what pickups you got?
I'm gonna open with these first two. So I gotta give a shout out to our boy Jaden, very good friend of the pod. Needless to say, Mr. Power Hour himself.
We do love us some Jaden around here. Let's see if I have Power Hour set here.
So what you been playing?
Still
Didn't have
Jaden,
it set there, but I have it here.
the very one.
Created by Jaden. You should have put
Copyright.
that at the end there, Jaden, like a little sound bit.
Yes. So Jaden, over the last, I would say 6+ months, has given me 4 games unexpectedly. They were not requested, or he just, out of the kindness of his heart, he had some games already. I don't know the stories behind all of them, but he either had some games already, or he came upon them from somebody else, and he thought of me when he got them, and he said, "They're yours now." And I was like, "All right, you're cool. Thanks,
This
man."
game looks dumb. James would like it.
He's pretty simple-minded. I bet he'll like this game called Gang Beasts.
Oh, that's the game where you like play as like a, what are they called? Like floppy character.
They
right?
look pretty floppy, pretty colorful. One's like a little-
ragdoll effects.
Yes,
That's what
they
I was
do.
looking
They
for.
do look ragdolly. One's a chicken. One's a T-Rex. One's a blue bear, maybe. One's a red raccoon looking, maybe a fox. But on the back it says, "Welcome to Beef City."
Yeah, I got a beef with you.
Gang Beasts is a silly multiplayer party game in the grisly Metropolis of Beef City, a city of colorful, gelatinous characters, hilarious scenes of cartoon violence, and beef.
Yeah.
So honestly, it sounds pretty stupid and awesome, and I'm gonna play this at some point.
Yeah.
It is on the Xbox One. I guess I hadn't opened it yet. Yep.
Oh, there's no disc.
There's no, yeah, you just gave me an empty box. Thanks, bro. He's like, he won't even notice.
What an idiot. He doesn't play his games.
Now, Gang Beasts. That's a pickup courtesy of Jaden.
I've never played that, but it does seem kind of like a James game, especially since it's a party game and you love to have get-togethers and have people play party games.
I remember there was a party game that I used to play at my Uncle Josh's house on the original Xbox.
Unk.
Not Unk.
Fusion Frenzy.
Fusion
There you go.
Frenzy! That's what it was!
Well, you called him Uncle Josh, and I said Unk.
Oh, you said... Oh. Did I say it wasn't Unk?
No, you just said Uncle Josh. Yeah, you said, no, not Unk.
Not
That's not the game.
I hate Unk the game, okay?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, Fusion Frenzy, that was the one. I remember... Yeah, it was...
It was Mario Party-ish.
I think it was supposed to be more like an adult-friendly version of Mario Party, but we had a good time. Josh was kind of the reason I had and kind of came warmed up to the Xbox, honestly.
Good job, Josh.
And so,
Thanks
I don't
for
know,
nothing.
in some weird level, Gang Beast reminds me of Fusion
Josh.
Frenzy and Josh. Love you, Uncle Josh. If you're
Oh,
listening,
I'm sure he listens to the podcast
sure he's
every
listening.
time.
You never know, man. You never know.
Well, if you listen to this, Josh, send me a text.
Josh could secretly be a closet X-buttoner. You never know.
I don't buy it. Yeah, I believe that as much as Justin Timberlake is also a closet.
Oh wow,
exploiter.
this is a 2-for-1. I didn't realize. I opened the box and there was a Game Boy, Nintendo Game Boy
Hold on.
cartridge inside.
Literally, how long ago did he give you
I
these?
don't-
You never opened them at all?
I mean, I probably did, and I completely forgot, dude, because I put them in a corner. Because I have a little corner in my room where like these are gonna. This is the one-ups and pickups corner for when we have an episode where I got to bring some pickups, and I just forgot to grab these the last time we did a collector's edition, maybe the last 2 times, and which is not surprising. I do forget things from time to time. But the second pickup, courtesy of Jaden. Disney Classic Games, Aladdin and The Lion King, a
Hey.
2-pack of 16-bit classics from the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis era. Both of these were on those consoles, yes?
So Lion King was the same game on both, but Aladdin was a completely different game on
Yes,
both consoles.
I've heard
and I
that.
know that both are on there, which is cool.
And I've only ever played Aladdin, well, both on Super Nintendo. I always hear that people say that Aladdin on the Super NES was better than Sega Genesis, and I can't remember why.
Depends on who you ask.
Then again, that could have just been me just assuming that it's better because I have like a superiority complex when it comes to Super Nintendo. I don't know.
I think that the Sega Genesis one was considered better in some ways, like the combat, because he had a sword.
Yeah.
And then I think the Super Nintendo one was considered better in like the style and the graphics of the game.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I only ever played the Super Nintendo one.
We've never done a top 10 Super Nintendo,
We have not. No.
and I'm sure we will at some point. I am not joking when I say Aladdin very possibly could crack my top 10.
Yeah,
It
it's a
was-
good game.
Okay, people don't remember
That Capcom like opening music too is so good.
Oh, dude, I know. I think of Mickey's Magical Quest too. But dude, Super NES, Game Boy era, like licensed games were actually good, like a lot of the time. And these were a pair of good examples, especially Aladdin. Lion King was really, really hard. I
Oh, yeah,
remember,
Lion King was hard.
super hard. And
Yeah, I remember sitting when you guys still lived in the duplex when we were kids.
Yeah.
I remember sitting in the living room there, and we're all taking turns on that level of the Lion King where you swing from the.
yeah, it's like isn't
the
that like the
animals.
opening level basically?
It's the second level.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
I just can't wait to be king. That level.
Yep.
Yes.
it's a hard level. I've beaten the game when I was a kid, but it's been a long time.
I don't think I have, and that was so early in the game, and I don't know if there was a hard mode or not, but that was just normal, the normal mode of that game, which is really super hard.
Well, you know why it was because they wanted to make the game harder for like the rental market, so that people would either keep renting it or feel a need to buy it because they couldn't beat it in that one rental period because it was so hard.
Interesting. I've never thought of that at all, but that's genius.
That's
actually.
not. I didn't come up with that. I've heard that.
Really?
Elsewhere, yeah. Like,
Dang.
I'd love to be like,
That makes
I just figured this out.
I mean, but that
yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
I think that's like a proven fact, like between about why it was so hard.
And so, video game rental services for the most part are dead, and they just make games easier than ever and more accessible
Oh
than
yes.
ever.
Now, if a game's not easy, people don't play it.
Yeah, which is crazy. But yeah, Aladdin was not an easy. Oh, I would say it was an easier game, but it wasn't an easy game. I remember my most profound memory of playing through Aladdin was the Cave of Wonders
Yeah, the
level.
magic carpet level.
The magic carpet level where you're
Just
just
because
going...
that's the hardest level in the game.
It was absolutely the hardest part of the game, and it was exhilarating, and it was like...
Oh,
I just
I'm
remember...
exhilarated.
I remember being very, very entertained and challenged for a Disney 16-bit game by that level, and when you beat it, and you and Abu and the carpet are out, you feel great.
That's a great.
Music was good, too.
Yeah, really good music. And then the next level is the one where you're like in the clouds jumping on the genie balloons and stuff. Like I remember always really liking like that level because it was very colorful.
Yeah. Oh, I know, that was really good. No, it was a really fun game, and attached to a classic. This would be the golden era of animated Disney movies. Many would claim, rightfully so.
Very random, and I didn't bring it here because I just got it today. But I was in Spokane this morning, and I went to a Value Village, and I found a copy of Aladdin Sega Genesis.
Let's what?
Yeah, it was $10, and I had a coupon. I can show you later. I don't want to go grab it, but yeah, literally just bought it today.
Just the cartridge for...
No, it's got the box and everything.
Dude,
and the
that's
instructions.
sick.
The front manual of the instructions is missing, which normally would be enough reason to make me not buy it because it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
But the cartridge had Hollywood video stickers on it, and I was like, that's kind of cool. so I bought it because of that.
Dude, that is a cool purchase. Like, now I kind of want to play them side to side, like, and see how
Compare
they feel
'em.
different.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of fun memories of that game specifically. So that is pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Okay, so what's the Game Boy?
It is
The bonus game.
Play Action Football. I know nothing about it other than that. There is a dog pile, a player with a football on top of the dog pile trying to jump over them. I'm assuming this is a goal line run.
How many dogs?
Ooh, dog pile. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Well, you know how we say the Seahawks are the 12th man, or now the 12s? It's at least 22 dogs in this pile, probably.
Woof.
Unless somebody is getting flagged for a 12-man on the field. But yes. So, Play Action Football. Know nothing about it. Football game on Game Boy. Cool. I like football, and I like the Game Boy. So,
Thank you, Jaden.
cool pickup. That's half my Jaden pickups.
All right, I'll go. I only brought a couple things. I'll go through mine, and then wait. The rest of those pickups are Jaden pickups too. Dang, Jaden, you spoil him.
This is the Jaden pickup episode.
You spoil him, Jaden. What has he done to deserve this? Okay, so I got a few things. This is, like I said, not all I've got. I'm going to probably do a summer pickups episode, a YouTube channel video.
Nice.
But I figured I'd just do a couple highlights. One was at PAX 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, however long it was, recently. They had, at Serenity Forge's booth, they had convention variant covers of Doki Doki Literature Club on the Switch, which I've played that game. I really enjoyed that game. It's very dark. Do not play that game unless you do a little research about what the game is, how the story goes. But it's very good. And I like I said, I really liked it, and I'm a sucker for like convention exclusive covers and stuff. And they had one of each of the different main characters. So I bought one of them. They were limited to 2,000 each.
Oh, sick.
They're PAX exclusive, but they sold some on their website as well, but they're numbered. And I got number 470 of 2,000.
That's awesome, dude.
So yeah, so that was cool. That was my
I heard a lot
PAX
of good things
pickup.
about that game too. And I rolled by Limited Run, and they also had a SNES cartridge, Limited Run for SNES cartridge version of the Jurassic Park video game there. We went on a Saturday, and by the time I actually rolled by Limited Run, it was sold out, and I was kind of bummed. I didn't even know about it at all. If I'd seen that, I would have auto bought that and played it on my Super NT, But
Yeah, that'd be a cool way to play it.
yeah.
I've never beaten that game.
Yeah,
Good
it was
game, though.
that was honestly a really confusing video game to play.
That was the first person shooter I ever played. One of the spots where you go through the caves and it turns into a first person shooter.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
All grainy and weird.
Cool game, but yeah, I believe you can actually beat that game in something like 30 minutes
Oh, wow.
when you know what you're doing. But I didn't know what I was doing. I don't think I ever figured out what the heck I was supposed to do in that game.
I remember being in the third person sections of that game, like stuck on one side of the fence and Velociraptors being on the other side of the fence, and I'm like, how do I get to the other side of the fence?
How do I get there where they'll kill me? Clever girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I've been picking up Vita games. I've got quite a few in the last few months, but I wanted to talk about the biggest one I got. There's about 3 or 4 like very expensive games on the Vita. And I found one of them on an eBay auction for relatively cheap with a second game that I already had, so I flipped that to help pay for some of the cost of this to make it easier. But this game usually goes for about $300, and
Oh wow.
I did not pay that much for it. Paid much less than that for it.
Sweet.
But it's Invisimals La Alianza. Alianza. So it's Invisimals the Alliance, but it never got a physical release in America other than South America. So it is an ESRB rated game. It is considered part of the full set. It is in English on the cartridge.
But a South American exclusive cart.
It's South American exclusive cart. It even says solo in PlayStation at the top. But it's funny. The game also came out in Europe and Japan, and the European version of the game, which is PEGI rated, is all in English. Invisimals the Alliance is what it says on the front. But this, for the complete set, this is considered to be needed. And I don't know too much about this series. It did have a PSP game. And a PS3 game as well. It was a Sony franchise. And I know that you use the camera to bring monsters in, and it was kind of like a Pokemon-like, as far as like you could, I don't know if you could catch them or tame them or whatever, and then you used them to fight other monsters.
Yeah.
But I was really excited to get this at such a good price, and it knocks out one of the bigger ones I needed, like I said, for the
cool,
Vita
dude.
set. So
What's your current count at, would you say?
I'm at 95, I think.
Of
200. I think it's 200
really?
exactly.
Oh, that's not bad.
In the physical set. Yeah.
Wow, that's not bad.
That's part of the reason why I decided to, because it's not that bad. Like,
Yeah.
and it actually has it's not a library for everybody, but the library, even though it's a lot of visual novels, it is a library that I'm more interested in playing than a lot of other consoles.
Yeah.
There's very little sports filler
yeah,
and stuff.
Better a library than the Wii U, I'm sure.
Oh, much better. The Wii U has a lot of really bad stuff. Really crappy shovelware.
Yeah.
And the last one I want to talk about this episode, one I was really excited to get. I just picked this up last week. I got it on a really cheap eBay purchase, $45, complete in box. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins.
Ooh.
One of my favorite Game Boy games. One
So
of my
sick.
personal favorite Mario games.
Yes.
Possibly one of my top 10 favorite games of all time.
Teaser? Maybe?
And yeah, I already have a cartridge. It's a cartridge I've had since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep that cartridge out to, be the one that I play, because I play this. This is one of the games I play somewhat frequently when I just get the itch to play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was complete. It has the poster in there, the manual, the little Nintendo Power insert, everything. I was very happy to have it because, I mean, as both a gamer and a collector, you like to have like these showpieces of things. This isn't a very expensive game.
No.
Like I said, I got it for 45, but it goes for closer to like 70, 80, 90
Yeah.
in that range.
It looks great, dude. It looks
But it's
great.
in really good shape. Only has a few minor flaws on it, but yeah, I was happy to get this. It looks really nice
I love
next
it,
to the
dude.
first Mario Land.
In terms of displaying like complete in box video games, I'm not sure much looks better than Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games. It looks just so good.
I agree. The Game Boy run of boxes and then the Vita boxes are my two favorite
Yeah.
types of boxes in general. Like I think the Vita cases look really cool.
Yeah.
And I love Game Boy boxes. Like
Yeah.
they're fun to collect in themselves just because they look so good.
They really do. No, like I have my, we talked about it before, but I have my Pokemon Emerald, and I'm just like, sometimes I'll go into my room that I don't spend enough time in, honestly, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, man, you pretty.
You a pretty girl.
Hey, maybe that's on my top 10 list. Pokemon Emerald.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Maybe we won't see.
Maybe we won't see.
Maybe we'll never reveal this list. We'll just tease it.
We'll just tease it for decades.
Yeah. All right, James, finish up some of your pickups that you got.
Okay, I got two left. We got right here, and this is a really cool one. Jaden just dropped this on me outside the Spider-Man Magic booth at PAX a couple weeks ago. He's like, he gave me this game, and he's like, I got this from, I think he said he got it from a friend, and he's like, I don't really have a special attachment to this game or the language that it's in, and I know you do. Basically what he said, and he gave it to me, and I was like, oh my god, man, this is so cool, and I gave him a hug, and I was like, I love you, man. You're the best.
And then you cried. You sobbed.
And he's like, get off me.
Yeah, why are you touching me?
But he gave me from what I can tell, a CIB box of Zelda The Wind Waker on Nintendo GameCube in Nihongo, aka Japanese. It has like a slip cover. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I can't read Japanese kanji without furigana, so I'm not gonna even try because I'll just embarrass myself. But yes, you open it up here. There is the plastic case on the inside, and we have those perfectly symmetrically sized GameCube discs that are wonderful, and you got the boat on there, and the language of, I'm guessing, Hylia from this version of Zelda. We got the instruction manual in Japanese with basically all the main players on the front, on top of what looks like the globe, which is really cool. This is just a really cool thing. My first Zelda game in Japanese and CIB, it is really cool.
And your first Japanese GameCube game, I'm sure?
My first Japanese GameCube game.
Japanese GameCube games are just really cool. The fact they came in those little cases and
Yeah.
with the slip covers,
Yeah.
very random.
Much
but-
more, yeah, just
Well,
a
it's
much,
not random at all because it was what it was there. But
much more appealing size, presentation, everything to the American GameCube games,
yeah,
for
they
sure.
look really good.
Really good. Yeah, like, it makes me want to go around and look like what I've heard you say before that like Pokemon Box, for example, is a lot cheaper than obviously American Pokemon Box, and I wonder what the presentation is like in that box. I'm sure it's
Like
smaller
that.
like this, right?
Yeah.
Like just certain GameCube games, I just wonder what they look like in the Japanese presentation now, CIB, and so I'm gonna do a little research on that.
Yeah, it's cool.
a little deep
I've
dive.
seen quite a few of them. Never in person really, but like it's fun to look at them because they just have such a, like you said, such a cool presentation.
Just very artsy and wonderful, just like the game itself. And Zelda the Wind Waker, could this be in my top 10? It very well could be. We'll see, though. And EA Sports presents
game.
John Madden Football 93. Another Jaden gift. He literally Jaden dropped 2 CIB older games on me. Jaden, you're a great guy. This is on the Super Nintendo.
You're great because you give him things.
Yes, if you did not give me gifts, would we have special feelings? Absolutely, we would, Jaden. We would have special feelings.
The feelings are so special.
Yes, this is a CIB copy of John Madden Football 93. This was before. Let me get this right. Was this before they had the NFL license or right after they got the NFL license? No, I don't think they had the NFL license yet. So they had they could use cities, and they could use numbers to refer to players' jerseys, but they couldn't. I don't think they could use likenesses. They could use
Did they really have like?
I mean, it was a 16-bit football game, so it didn't look that good. Obviously, none of them did. They were a step above Tecmo Bowl on the regular Nintendo, etc. But I don't remember honestly playing a lot of 16-bit football games, so I'm excited to play this. It is CIB. It has the instructions. It has the box that holds the Super Nintendo cartridge in it. It's in pretty good shape too, honestly.
It looks
And
nice.
it is cool to have a Madden game CIB on the Super Nintendo, which is arguably my favorite console. So I was really stoked about that. A Madden game to a lot of people is just fodder, but in this case specifically,
Not to
very
James.
cool.
Not
to me.
today.
Not to me.
You got to put that boy in a box protector.
Not to. Oh yeah.
You got to protect that child.
I gotta keep it safe.
No, those are cool pickups.
So Jaden, thanks, man.
Good job, Jaden. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's move into the main topic. So we're gonna end a lot sooner than normal. We're only at 40 minutes.
Wow, we did well.
We did. We've done.
If anything, I'm the one that made that more long-winded. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I want the guests / co-hosts to always feel like they can talk however much they want. I'm not trying to put time limits on things. I'm just trying to make things
Yeah,
a little different for now.
that's fair.
Okay, so like we said, we're going to be doing our top 10 list. Starting with number 10, we're going to go down the list. And before we start, though, what we're going to do is we're going to give each other what we think the other's top 10 list is. We will not react necessarily. I'm
putting on my poker face. You're not going to see any emotion from me when you say my. Okay, go ahead.
So they won't. Yeah, so neither of us will know the actual how many we got right until we go through the lists.
Yeah, so me and Chris don't know each other's lists at all.
Yep.
We're just working on 37 plus years of history here.
Yeah, and we'll see how badly we actually listened to each other. Right? So James, why don't you go first?
All right, man. So I'm
This is
guessing
from 10 down,
I'm
right?
guessing your list right now.
Yes.
Okay, here I go. This is what I think Chris's list is going to go something like. Starting at 10, I got Zombies Ate My Neighbors on the Super Nintendo. Starting at number 9, I got Suikoden 2. At number 8, I got Toe Jam and Earl. Number 7, I got Pokemon Soul Silver. I know Chris loves Pokemon. Number 6, I got Super Mario 64. I know Chris can't I know he's got feelings about Super Mario 64. Number 5, I got Zelda Link's Awakening. I know he likes that game. Number 4, I got Final Fantasy VII. Listen, who are we kidding here? We know this is on the list somewhere, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. I don't know, though. Maybe.
Guess you'll find out.
Number 3, I got Earthbound. Now, I know this is on the list somewhere in Chris's list. I know it is. It has to be. If it's not, I am a monkey's uncle. I am a Boo from Aladdin. Anyways.
Wait, are you his uncle?
I am a Boo's uncle from Aladdin. He's whatever. Number 2, I just have a feeling that you got an RE game on here, so I went with Resident Evil 4 at number 2. And then finally, I went with Super Metroid. That rounded out what I think is going to be something like Chris's top 10.
All right, that's a good top 10. Even if it's not what mine is, it's still a good top 10.
I think so.
That's 10. Those are 10 games that I love.
There you go.
So we'll find out shortly, though.
All right.
All right, this is what I have for James.
Come at me. What you
This
got?
one's a sleeper hit. I'm not sure that it's on your list.
Okay.
But I thought it was a pretty good guess.
Okay.
Halo 1. Number 9, I put Celeste. I know you love Celeste. You love your little redheaded,
I do like Celeste.
depressed child. And Celeste is a fantastic game.
All right.
Number 8, the game with the best water physics of all time, Wave Race 64.
Nice.
You love yourself some Wave Race.
Nice. That's a great game, dude.
And you love water so much that I do believe that the game you just got for the Japanese GameCube is on your list at number 7,
Ooh, okay.
Wind Waker.
Okay.
I know how much you love this game, and I know that you're not a Mike Tyson fan, which is why you don't like the original Nintendo one. You like Super Punch-Out. So I do believe Super Punch-Out is on your list.
That is a great game.
Once again, I'm not positive, but you've talked very highly about this game. I wouldn't be surprised if you had it on your list. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
I have Metroid Prime at number 4.
Yes.
Pokemon Gen 5 at number 3. This is the one where I struggled with. I know Gen 5. I would be shocked if Gen 5 isn't on your list.
Okay. Okay.
Also, I just figured when it comes to Gen, like we don't have to specify black, white, gold, silver. We just say the Gen because that doesn't matter too much.
Sure.
So I know you love Gen 5. I struggled with not putting another Gen of Pokemon on here, but Gen 5 is the only one I could settle on as a for sure.
Okay.
So, and we'll see if I was right,
I like
but I'm pretty...
I like your thinking.
Yeah.
I'll say that much.
All right, then number 2, Super Metroid. And number 1, I really think... I know you love Super Metroid. I know you love Pokemon, but personally, I thought about it a lot. I drove for 10 hours the last 2 days, and I was like, I really think Link to the Past is going to be James's number 1.
Okay.
You love Super Nintendo. You love Link to the Past. It's your favorite Zelda game. I know that much. I think it's got to be number 1. So I did put 3 Zeldas on this list.
Okay.
Only 1 Pokemon, which is pretty wild.
All right.
So that's where I know that I probably made some mistakes.
Okay.
Also, I'm not positive Halo is actually on your list, but like I know you, and I know you have a lot of very fond memories of the multiplayer parties and all that. So
That is true.
I gambled, and we'll see if I won.
All right, man.
So,
I am excited to see what we think of each other's lists and how right we were.
all right. Oh, and fun fact too. I don't remember if I said this already, but we are going to go through all of the listeners who submitted their list. It's enough where it won't go on for hours. It's not like such a huge number that it would take hours to go through. Like 10, 15 entries, something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't read any of them yet. James doesn't know any of them.
I don't.
So, I mean, like when they got sent, I may have, seen 1 or 2 of the names or the games on the list, but overall I have not seen any of the full lists. So we will be finding out when we get to that point, who has the most guesses live on air. And the goal here is to keep well enough track when we get to that point to announce the winner on this episode so that when the person listens to it, they find out they won by listening to the episode. If that doesn't get to happen, then after the episode is live, I'll just announce the winner on Discord. And eventually it'll be announced on Discord too. But
yes,
I kind of want to take the chance to have it people listen to it with the suspense of wondering if they won, waiting to the end of the episode, and then finding out that way, other than just on Discord or whatever.
Let me add to Chris. I honestly have been thinking about this the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks, knowing this episode was coming up. Like I feel like I put a little bit too much pressure on myself, and I'm like, this feels like a very important episode. Let me be very clear. At least this is the way I feel. I don't want to tell you how you feel, Chris. This is just an episode, right? The only thing I feel like I or you owe anybody on this episode is an honest and solid top 10 list that is true to ourselves. I don't think we owe anyone a waxing poetic, perfectly explained reason for why that's on our list. We speak from our heart. We say what's true. What is our top 10 games? And it's going to be great.
If anybody knows me, they probably recognize at this point that I'm not known for my poetic. I'm known for speaking from the heart. Like, very truthful and honest, and I speak with emotion and feeling, and maybe not so much brain.
You do a great job.
Oh, thank you. Okay, you did your list first. I'll start with my number 10.
Okay. Go for it.
My number 10,
Yes.
Uncharted 3.
What?
I know.
Whoa.
So this also, like James said, like he's been thinking about it for a couple weeks. I've been thinking about this for a long time, but solidly, like I need to make this list
Okay.
for probably a couple months. And then
Okay.
I brought, once I was kind of getting to the point where I was like, I'm comfortable with this list is when I reached out to James to do the episode.
Yeah.
And that was because I wanted to make sure that personally I was comfortable with this list because it was hard. It's hard for me.
Literally, we sat down, we got in front of the mics, we put on our headsets, and I was like, Chris, I need to shuffle a couple in my top 10 still. Like,
Yep.
It feels, they're so close together, I feel like, in a lot of cases.
I 100%. I even, like I said, I had this pretty much solidified a month ago, at least. And I still, today, swapped a couple things around because I still felt, after I thought about it, I was like, this is where this really belongs.
Mm-hmm.
And like another point too, this is my top 10 list. This is what I'm saying is my definitive top 10 list for now, but
Yes.
2 years down the line, I could change my mind. I could
absolutely.
replay something, not love it as much,
Yes.
or play something else and be like, God, I like this way more. Like
This is not static. I'm glad that I'm going to have a list that I can like work on, kind of like Daily Beating was saying on his last episode. He just like keeps a file, and he's like, as he plays games, he just tinkers with it, and whatever feels natural.
I wish I had done something like that too,
know.
because it'd be nice to have that, like, oh yeah, I really liked that. Kind of
Yes.
keep like a mental checklist of things.
Correct.
Little bit.
I like the thought
visually.
process behind that. Have like a visual aid to be like, this is where I currently stand, and it is always open to change.
Yep.
So subject to change.
So, like I said, number 10, Uncharted 3.
Uncharted 3.
So, just for a little bit of discussion on that, I think I've mentioned quite a few times on the podcast in the past that I love the Uncharted series.
Yeah.
It was, for me, I'd already been a PlayStation fan at that point. I'd always been a Nintendo fan at that point. But Uncharted, when I played Uncharted 1, it kind of blew my mind because that was the first time where I'd seen that like movie experience in a game where
Sure.
it was like I was playing a movie,
Yeah.
and I was Indiana Jones, obviously, you
Yeah.
know, like, so to speak. I was Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And video games had always been, their whole goal had always been to put you into the character, but like really the way it felt so immersive. Obviously that was one of the bigger games where they used green screen and motion capture for the first time in an actual game.
Yeah.
And Uncharted, I loved Uncharted 1. Like, I really
Yeah.
did. The plot twist in the end of the game, like, it was such a good game. Very, very great characters. I still, to this day, like, I love Nolan North as a voice actor, as a character actor. Like, he's so good as Nathan Drake. And the whole cast. Elena, Sully,
Yep.
in later games, Chloe, it doesn't matter. It's a great cast of characters.
Sure.
Generally speaking, when people think of Uncharted, the standard favorite is 2.
Yeah.
And 2 is also great. 2 is the game out of the 3 that kind of does everything perfectly. Like the great story, great gameplay. It fixes some of the gameplay issues from 1. Just a great game. I enjoy 2, but 2 was never resonated with me like 3 did.
Yeah.
And I'm the first to admit, like, and it's not because I'm trying to be contrary. I tend to like things a little differently than people. Like for years, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 has been my favorite Marvel movie.
It's a good movie.
It's nobody's favorite Marvel movie, but that wasn't to be contrary. It's because I love dialogue. I love really good, well-written character interactions.
I'm
And
Mary Poppins. I love that movie, though.
I mean that's funny, but for me, I've probably said this on the podcast before, but when it comes to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, it's the interaction between Ego and Peter Quill when he's talking about, when he's trying to convince him to basically be his right-hand man, and then he makes that point about how he killed his mother. Like, there's so much emotion and feeling in that
Yeah.
that it always really stuck with me. And that's part of the reason I really like that movie. Other than the fact that it's a fun movie, it's, very entertaining. yada yada. This isn't about Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
We have our top 10 movies as well, guys. Here we go.
Uncharted 3 does a lot of those same things. The dialogue in Uncharted 3 hits so hard, and I just listened to a podcast recently, another video game podcast, and they very much so said Uncharted 3 is nobody's favorite Uncharted. And I was like, well, that's rude. Because I had already been working on my top 10 list, or I already had it done, and I have it on my list.
Yeah.
And for me, it's because of a couple things. I love Sully, the character Sullivan. It's one of my favorite characters from the series. I love his and Drake and his relationship. You know, that it's the mentor-mentee relationship. He's also kind of like that father figure type, character to him.
Yeah.
And the whole idea that Sully, they do backstory where they show how they kind of came together, how he ended up taking him on under his wing and protected him, but brought him into the thieving lifestyle.
Sure.
And then the overall arc of the story is Sully's getting old. He can't do this forever, but his love for Nathan Drake is strong enough that he's going to go, and he's going to be there to support him no matter what. And it's a lot of character growth in that sense, where you see this father-son type relationship for two people who are not related. It was brought together through life, through happenstance. And Nathan has to come to the realization that he has to be more careful with people, whereas also, he might still want to live this lifestyle and do certain things, but he has to be careful with the way he handles people. And Sully has to realize sometimes he has to say no because that's best for him and for for other people too.
Yeah.
And there's some really good. I don't know. I just always really like this game. I like the scene where it's pretty iconic. It was done to some degree in the live action movie where the stuff is falling out of the airplane, and in the game he ends up landing in the desert, and he's having. Seeing illusions and stuff. Not illusions. What is the word I'm looking for?
Mirage.
He's like seeing things.
Yeah.
And it's just very powerful, and very potent. The end of the game is really good. It always sat with me.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love this series. It was not so much a question. Like this was it. It was an easy game to put on my list. It was harder to figure out where it was. I knew it wasn't in the top 5, but it was an easy game for my list. And I do wonder when I look at people's lists how many will actually have this on their list. I don't know that many will. I don't know that I've talked about the series enough, but I know I have talked about this game on the podcast.
You have, absolutely.
And I've talked about my love for it too.
Yes, I know that you love this series because I remember I remember loving the TV series Friday Night Lights so much that I was like, Chris, I really need you to watch this show. I know it's about football on the surface, on a surface level, but like in a character building perspective and from a real life, like just comparison to culture in Texas and how drawn they are to football, is like, you need to see this. It is one of the best shows ever, I feel like, and it's at least one of my favorites. And you're like, okay, I'll watch a season of that if you play Uncharted 1, and I was like, okay, deal. And so I remember buying the collection of Uncharted's, which is like. What, like the first 3?
Yeah,
something like that. I played the first one, and I honestly really enjoyed the first one. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I know why. I always get distracted by something else, but I definitely played through the first Uncharted. So I guess the question is, did you watch first season of Friday Night Lights?
I did.
Okay.
It's got Jesse Plemons in it.
It sure does. I think that might be the first thing that made him popular, Jesse Plemons.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, me and Jasmine watched it, and once I got to the end of the season, I was like, all right, I lived up to my end of the deal.
Yep.
And I haven't watched more because James hasn't played more Uncharted.
I definitely haven't got to Uncharted 3, that's for sure. Otherwise, you'd have to watch the rest of the show, basically. But that's a good pick. Definitely caught me off guard. I should have thought of it.
I think out of all my picks, I think that was one of the bigger wild cards. Not for me personally, but for people to remember that I've talked about this.
Yes.
So
that's your number 10.
That's my number 10. What's yours?
I like it. All right. I don't know if this is going to surprise you. It shouldn't. And I don't think it will once I say it, but I think you maybe slept on this a little bit. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. I'm only choosing this entry in the series because I have to choose an entry. And well, I'm not going to say any more than that moving forward. But number 10 on my personal favorite games of all time list, Madden NFL 2005. Did you expect an entry of this series showing up on my top 10.
So me and Keldrick were talking about this, and he even asked, he's like, "Do you think James has a Madden on his list?" And I was like, probably, but it's hard for me to say that for sure because he goes back and forth with his Madden.
Yes.
Like, you were hardcore into Madden in the mid to late 2000s.
Yes.
And then, dropped off. Then, once the Xbox One came out, I feel like you got back into it pretty hard again. And then it's just been,
Yes.
up and down
Yeah.
ever since. But never like the early 2000s. So 2005 makes sense to me because
Yeah.
that's, I think, late PS2 GameCube era, early 360 is when you were really into Madden the most.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I started on the PS2 playing online and kind of really going at it and working in the lab, as it were, trying to figure out how to get good at this game. But I feel like the listeners might be like, Madden? Are you serious? Like the trash at the bottom of the discount bin and GameStops, like for decades?
Yeah, you can get it for $1. It's great.
Well, Madden actually has a history of excellent games that were critically acclaimed, and people might not be familiar with this. You go on to like Metacritic right now, and they have like, I don't know how long the list is, but like you look at the top 200 best rated games of all time, Madden's littered all over that list. People might be surprised. Madden 2003, 95 on Metacritic. Madden 2002, 94 on Metacritic. Madden 2004, 94 on Metacritic. Madden 2005, which I picked, 91. Madden 2001, 91, which I think would have been the first Madden that was playable online, roughly, on the PlayStation, because it was playable online on PS2 before it was available on Xbox Live, I think.
I don't know that.
But don't worry about that. Anyways, why this specific Madden game, people? Well, let's just describe the cover.
Hold on.
Yes.
Is the song "Are You Gonna Be My Girl" by Jet on this year?
I don't honestly know. You have to look that up.
I'm gonna
you
look
have
it up
to
while
look
you're
that up.
talking.
That honestly is a very slept on aspect of why Madden games are great. They literally expose people to pop music, alternative rock, all kinds of cool tracks, even rap and hip hop that were great. Honestly, I mean, similar to like, I don't know, like Tony Hawk or Rock Band, Guitar Hero, similar vibes. Like there were some really good hits on these games. And I honestly didn't even think about that in preparing my thoughts on this game. But anyways, Madden NFL 2005 had Ray Lewis, which was a linebacker on the Baltimore Ravens. Infamous and also famous for being one of the best defensive players in NFL history. So why this game specifically? This game introduced the hit stick. Are you familiar? Yeah, I know you're familiar with the hit stick. So this was a time in the NFL when it was especially violent. Like they almost celebrated the hits.
Yeah.
I remember watching Monday Night Football before the game. They would do coverage and highlights and anticipate what was going to happen. And there was this little segment they do that was called Jacked Up, where they would talk about like the biggest hits that happened, like in the previous games on Sunday that weekend. It was a time when like the NFL, this was prior to the discovery and or acknowledgement of CTE and all the, all the brain damage that football actually
got ruined.
Yeah. Before Will Smith opened our eyes.
Thanks,
in
Will.
his hit movie.
Getting jiggy with it over there,
Yes. But
2004 is the year I was thinking
2004?
of. That's the year I remember playing the most. That's why I asked.
And honestly, that's not surprising. You know what 2004 was? That was the Michael Vick cover. Infamous
Yes.
for how broken Michael Vick was in that game. He was literally like Superman in that game.
He was both a running back and a quarterback.
It was unfair.
Guys, I know sports.
Chris remembers some Madden games. He through me and through my family, he played a lot of Madden. So
Me and James won $100 each once through playing his dad in Madden.
yes, for sure. This entry of Madden had the hit stick. So basically, you click right, or you click on the right analog stick in the direction of the player when you're on defense, and you would just demolish the offensive player, whoever it was, if you timed it right and if you were in good position and at like very high frequency of causing a fumble, which, massive. In football, if you don't get turnovers or at least play good defense, probably not going to win. So hit sticks were just like almost like an aspect of almost like what was that one like extreme football game that people liked all the time?
Blitz?
Yeah, it was a little NFL blitzy for sure. But
Yeah.
this was like a time in Madden's history where they were like growing the game, and I think most people will consider like the golden era of Madden was probably 2001 to like 2008, 2007, somewhere in that. They were hitting on all cylinders. They were competing, needless to say, with NFL 2K, which I think to this day still has the best rated football game of all time, even higher than some of those Maddens that I mentioned earlier. Anyways, it felt like the sky was the limit in this era of football, and I don't know, like I just remember playing Madden so much. Like it's such a big part of my gaming life. You know this, right? Like
Absolutely.
it was literally a way for me to bond with my dad. It was a way for me to bond with my uncle, with my brother on some level, even though we were already close, like with friends and strangers I didn't even know. Like Madden gave me common ground with a lot of people. And to this day, it's still like something that I have in common, like with my dad, for example. Like I'll go over and be like, "Hey, want to play Madden?" I'm like, "Yeah," you know.
All right, go ahead and beat me.
And and he spent years just destroying us, right? Like making me cry specifically, and laughing.
And laughing.
Yeah, he laughed.
Yeah. Loser.
And that was one of my drives to get better at this game. But
you remember when you were playing Madden? You probably remember this, but I might be unlocking a memory for you. When you were playing Madden and you'd play with that random guy down in Olympia, and you would play online together with him quite frequently. I don't think you ever met the guy.
Oh, really?
But I remember you talking about how you met you were playing with somebody, you found out who was in Olympia, and you'd play with him off and on.
I don't remember that. Hopefully I won.
I mean, I'm sure you probably did.
I feel like if I kept playing him, it's probably because he was better than me, and I wanted to get better by practicing.
Not
with him.
because you made a friend.
That's probably part of it too. Hopefully, I hope so. I don't remember an Olympia guy, but I'm gonna have to like really delve into the corners of my mind there to find it.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's it's way gone. Anyways, it was also an incredible, like a big coping tool. I don't know if I've ever told you this, Chris. Like, as a Seattle sports fan, we've had a lot to cope with over the years. Like bad teams, literally losing our basketball team. Like for a long time, especially back this year, 2004. You take a time machine back to 2004. A Seattle sports fan was not in a great spot.
I'm just gonna say real quick. I genuinely was like, "Oh crap, James is gonna get deep." I was like, "He's actually gonna talk about something that happened." Is like James doesn't talk about stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh," I put my phone down. I was like ready to like, and he was like, "Seattle sports suck." I'm like, all right, that makes more sense.
Well, the truth is, it did help me cope with a lot of other things too. But as a Seattle sports fan, man, a game would go wrong, bad coaching, bad players, bad year, whatever. You miss the playoffs, or you lose an excruciating game in the playoffs, and like
take the ball and we're gonna win.
Processing that as a sports fan is really hard. That's why, like, I don't recommend anyone become a sports fan, because it's so hard to deal with if you actually are invested and you care. Like, losing sucks. It hurts, man. Like, it's a blow every year.
Yeah, man, that's rough.
And I would deal with it by playing Madden. Like, I'd be like, all right, so Seahawks suck this year, or that was a bad game. More on coaches. I'm not going to suck. I'm going to be better. And I'd immediately dive into Madden. I'd go online and I'm like, I'm going to get good. I'm going to make it so that I win the games, even if my team in real life can't win the games. And that's how eventually I got really good at Madden. Was
See,
just
the Seahawks don't suck.
They don't. No, they don't. No. And it felt really good winning with bad Seahawks teams from year to year. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah. But honestly, on a real life level, like, I did cope with things sometimes just by like something bad happened. I was like, I don't want to think about this. I would go on to Madden Online and I'd play, dude. And that's like, so I picked this Madden specifically just for little reasons. Like, I think this year was also the first year that it was on Xbox Live, which is, like you said, that was kind of like when I really took a deep dive and got better at Madden. And for a pretty good stretch, I was like a top 200 on Xbox Live and one or two of the Maddens. Like, I was really good, dude.
Yeah,
no, I was really good. I was really good. Like, I would go to local Madden tournaments, and I'd be the guy everyone hated. Like, walking out the door, they'd be like, "That guy sucks," because I'd beat everyone there.
But he doesn't suck. I suck.
I would go to GameStop tournaments every year for whatever the next Madden was, and back then GameStop would put up tournaments right before the new one launched, and if you won the tournament, you would just win that copy of Madden, the upcoming entry. And I think I won one year. There was a couple. I lost more than I won, but like, because it's free money. But like, I don't know. I could go on for hours, dude, about Madden and what it's meant to me over the years. This Madden specifically, nothing super special about it specifically compared to other ones in that era. Just I had to pick one and hit stick.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's reasonable. It's a very good pick for you because, like you said, I do remember playing Madden a ton at your house. You know, especially in our teen years. You've never stopped playing Madden. It makes more sense than Halo. I admit that. I did go back and forth. I had Madden on the list at one point, but I chose Halo
Yeah.
over it. But I'm guessing Halo's not on the list. 10 was where I figured it would be. I doubt it's higher than that.
I will not say, I will not
know,
confirm
I
or
know.
deny, but I will say it's funny that Alex was talking about the Gamer Bro picks that somebody would have if they were a Gamer Bro, you know,
Yeah.
and I was like, he said Madden, and I was like,
Yeah.
I got you.
You got me, Alex. You understand
I
me.
got you.
So I did look up the soundtrack for 2005.
Oh, sweet.
And I don't remember a lot of these, but a couple of the more well-known songs, Go by will.i.am,
Nice.
American Idiot by Green Day.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see here. Take Me Out by Franz Ferdinand.
Take me out.
And then, that's kind of it for the ones that I recognize as being like bigger songs. Alter Bridge had a song, Open Your Eyes. Chevelle, the Clincher. So there was some.
Oh, dang, Chevelle. I forgot about them.
Yeah, the
All
Red.
Yeah. Yeah, Madden.
Yep, makes sense. That's a good pick for James, especially.
Had
Not
to be
for
on.
me. It
Had
would
to be
weird
on this
be
list.
on my list.
Had to be on this list.
All right, so my number 9 should be a surprise to nobody. I've talked about this a lot in the last couple of years, especially. SteamWorld Dig.
Nice.
The first SteamWorld Dig specifically. It's become a comfort game of sorts for me. I love the atmosphere. I love the Metroidvania cross dig dug style of the game. It's a nice short game, and when I'm like feeling that vibe where I want to play, it's a very specific game, but I find myself wanting to play it a lot. And I liked the second one. The second one is probably the better game in just about every aspect. It's longer. There's more abilities. More areas to explore. But the first one in its like very compact package just really vibes with me. I bought the vinyl for it, a couple years ago. I love that. It's just very easy listening. Not steampunk, robot / Western vibe to the music, and I don't have too much more to say about this one. I've talked about it a lot in the past. It's a great game. It's a comfort game. I love going back to it, and I have it on every console because I enjoy playing it. And like sometimes I want to play it on my Vita or on the Switch or on the 3DS, and I can play it on any of them.
Yeah.
So it's a great game.
I love it. I love it too. It's a great game. I don't want to take credit for it because that would be rude and presumptuous. But I'm trying to think. Did I play it first and I recommend it to you? I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I feel like I remember playing this game almost entirely at work on my. It was one of the first. No, it was 3DS. It was a 3DS game first, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I remember playing this almost entirely at work on slow days and was just like enamored with it. Great game.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about it before I played it.
And I remember playing it and thinking immediately, like, Chris, you have to play this. You're definitely gonna like this game.
Yeah, I know you talked about it. I'm not trying to not give you credit.
No, it's okay.
I don't
need credit
remember
for it.
if that had anything to do with it. Sometimes I'm stubborn and I'm like, you don't play what I suggest, so why would I play this? But I know it ended up being free on PlayStation Plus, and that's when I ended up playing it.
Okay.
But I really liked it the first time I played it. But it's one of those games, kind of like certain movies. Sometimes you'll watch it once, you're like, that was good, and you go back a few years later, watch it again, you're like, God, I really liked that.
Yeah.
And it just resonated differently
Absolutely.
the second time,
Yeah.
and and it's become a game I play through probably once a year.
That's what E.T. the movie became to me too. Watched it as a kid, liked it, came back as an adult. It's one of my favorite movies now. So I totally get the premise of that,
Yeah. It just slaps, as the kids say.
It's a great game. It is.
Yeah.
And 2 is just as good. If
Like
not-
I said, even better in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I like the compact simplicity of the first one.
and here's to hoping we get a threequel.
I hope so, because they've done now 2 of the SteamWorld heists. They have the SteamWorld build. They've gone on with the universe.
Yeah,
I'd love to get a third one.
that'd be great. Am I at 8?
You're at 9.
9. All right, so I'm not going to go into this too much. It's Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I could do the whole soliloquy a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, except in Ionios, but I'm not going to do that again. I've done that twice to you guys. I'm not going to put you through it again. I just love this game. For a while, it wasn't on the list. It was in like the honorable mentions area, and then I was looking at what I had at like 8, 7, 8, 9, and I was like, no, I like Xenoblade better than you. You know? And it is really hard to do that with games you like this much. You're like, you're my friend. and you're my friend, and you're both really like best friends of mine, but you're the better best friend.
Yeah. No, I get it. I have one game that two games actually that I'm sure people might have thought I'd put on my list, and they were on the list.
Yeah.
But as I continued to build it and move things around, they just constantly found their way moving up further until I was like, yeah, maybe they're not top 10. They're honorable mention for sure.
Yeah,
but they're not
yeah.
top. I think they just missed the mark.
Dude, absolutely. Like sometimes you can't even explain it. You just look at them and you're like, which one do I love better? I love you better, and it just happened.
You're my favorite child.
Yeah, I'm not going to go long-winded on this. We discussed it in very great detail, like what we both love about Xenoblade.
Just this year.
And yeah, like go back to that episode. I feel like I went into great detail. We both did about what we like about the Xenoblade series, and it is hard to explain what is so good about these games other than the combat system is so unique, so addictive, so original. And once it clicks, once you start to learn the dance, as it were, you just can't stop playing.
You can't stop dancing.
You just gotta keep dancing. You gotta keep dancing till the song ends.
Yep.
And the song is very long in this case.
Yeah, definitely. We did our favorite Switch game, our top 10 Switch games before the Switch 2 came out. It was back in March, April.
Yeah.
We did that episode. Yeah, and we both definitely talked about Xenoblade a lot.
Yeah, it was like our definitely our definitive Xenoblade episode, and that's why I don't want to make this a Xenoblade episode. But please go back, listen to the episode. Even better, play a Xenoblade game because and just dip your toes. Don't just dip your toes. You're gonna have to take off.
Dive right in.
You just gotta jump in, man. If you dip your toes, it's not gonna be enough.
Time to skinny dip. You're going in all the way.
Going in the Xeno waters. And
you do have to, with these games, I do believe you have to be committed to the thought of playing it. Like, because, once again, we're getting into it, but learning the battle system is work.
Yeah.
If you don't want to work, don't play Xenoblade yet. Wait until you're ready to learn.
Yeah.
Because you have to learn it. It will take some time, but once it clicks.
Oh, man. And I just finished Xenoblade 1 recently, too. Loved it. Great game. I can definitively say that this is the one that I like better. And they're both really good games. But this now is one of my favorite. It's like literally, officially, like it's one of my favorite series. It is. I've played 1 and 3, and I can't wait to play 2 and X. I'll probably play 2 first, and then X sometime after I replay 3, probably. I'm not sure why, even though I've heard that X is so good.
Well, after you play 2, you can play the DLC for right?
Which is very important to me, because now I'm starting to see connections between the games, and I'm like, oh boy.
I want to see more.
Seeing this grand tapestry that is painting itself before my very eyes.
Beautiful.
And so 2 will be next, and I'm very excited to see, like we were saying, what is Monolith going to do next? I don't know, but I'm excited for it, whatever it is. And so Xenoblade Chronicles 3, that is my number 9.
I'm an idiot. That should have been on my list for you.
Okay.
It really should have been, but
That's okay.
I was thinking a little too old school, I think, was
No.
my list.
It's like we were saying, like I wanted to be dead certain. I was like, if I'm putting a recently released game on here, I have to be sure. And I was like, I'm sure it's on this list. I didn't want recency bias to be the reason I picked one game over another. It had to be because I liked it on its own merits better than the other game.
Absolutely.
You know?
No, I agree. That's everything that I settled with on my list is I'm pretty settled with this list.
Yeah.
Okay, so my number 8,
Yes.
probably a surprise to no one. Everybody knows I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the game that definitely left a very huge impact on me as far as gameplay goes, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I love the first Knights of the Old Republic. I've played through it many times. It's just...
I should have known. I should have known.
It's such a good game. And I looked back today too. I did a little bit of I wanted to see if I'd mentioned some of these things before, and I remembered I for May the 4th one year I talked about it, and I did in that thing say it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
And it really is. Like, this was the first time the Jedi Knight series, had some diversity in it, where you did get to choose some light and dark side choices. You got to pick some of your force powers and stuff. There was a little bit of customization, but Knights of the Old Republic really puts you in the shoes of being a Jedi, or a Sith, whatever you chose.
Sure.
The characters are great. The plot twists. I mean, it's the game's 20 years old, 25 years old. I probably shouldn't have to worry about the plot twist, but just in case, I won't talk about the plot twist. But the plot twist was pretty mind blowing at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Darth Revan is just or Revan in general is just a really cool character. Bastila Shan is just she's fantastic. I almost said Kyle Katarn. Karth Onasi, you love to hate him. He's the guy who played Jiminy Cricket in
Nice.
in what's that show called? Once Upon a Time.
Mm-hmm.
And Mission, Zalbar, Canderous, like just a great cast of characters.
Yep.
The dialogue in the game is fantastic. Each character you get to have a very unique relationship with, and this isn't a spoiler per se. As you play the game, you choose every choice has an impact, whether it be light or dark side. You want to help somebody. I mean, you do the good thing, you help them. You can do the bad thing and kill them, and take their credits and move on. Or you can choose not to help them and watch them die. You have these light and dark choices that you make, and when it climaxes at the end, and you see the consequences of your choices, it really hits home because it's a very powerful scene to see how the people that you've gained these relationships with throughout the course of this game react to you making a very finite decision on which side you're choosing. Your light, whether it be light or dark. And all of this just really sat with me. Like I said, once again, the customization aspects.
Yeah.
I could go without ever playing Terrace again. It's a very long opening world. But once you get out of there, you do the first, Jedi trials on Dantooine, and then you have the galaxy opens up, and you get the option to go to these other planets, some that we'd never really seen in Star Wars before in, the movies yet. Because this was before the prequel trilogy was even done. So this was the first time we saw Kashyyyk in actual, full-formed glory, because we only saw it a little bit in episode 3, but episode 3 wasn't out yet. And I don't believe any game prior to this did Kashyyyk. So anyway, it's a fantastic game. It's one I've gone back to multiple times over the course of the last 20 years. I even bought it when I was in Italy and I sprained my ankle. I even bought it on my iPad and played through it there while everybody else was exploring and I was stuck in a chair.
Oh man.
Fantastic game. I do truly hope that the remake that they've been working on and announced 4 or 5 years ago actually comes out.
And then canceled and then re-announced. Isn't that kind of where it's at right now?
Who knows? They say it's still happening, but we'll see. I do hope that comes out one day and it's not messed with too much. But it's a great game. I love it. The second game never resonated with me like the first game did. I love the Old Republic, the online game that came out much later, but nothing has been as good as the first game. Easily my favorite Star Wars game of all time.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
I just love it.
What's funny is last night I was talking with Hannah because she was guessing too, making her own list for us, and I was like, she's like, he's gonna put a Star Wars game on there, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, and in my head I was thinking Shadows of the Empire. I was like, I know he loves Shadows of the Empire, but does he top 10 love Shadows of the Empire? Maybe you do, but I was like, I guess I could see it, but I was like, nah, he's not going to put a Star Wars game on there. And I just, in my head, I should have thought of freaking Knights of the Old Republic. I know you love that game, and tons of people love that game. It's an all-timer in lots of people's eyes. So, yeah.
Have you never played it?
I've started it maybe really briefly, because I know I had it on Xbox, and I back to Madden. I probably got distracted, but just because I love playing Madden so much, honestly. But yeah, that's one of the shames. One of my video game shames is not having played this game, especially as a Star Wars fan. And it is one that I will get to sooner or later. I've heard constantly good things about it, and it does seem like a game from what I've seen that is, due for a upgrade remake situation, even as good as the original is.
It is. It's not, especially for the modern gamer. It hasn't aged as well. It's a little clunky, but I think it's still fantastic.
Is it McClunky?
McClunky. Yes, it's a little McClunky.
Okay,
but yeah, hopefully one day you play it. I love it.
I will.
That's my number 8.
Love it. Oh, that's right. I'm up. Number 8.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am a little disappointed. Not disappointed, but Chris is going to be the first one to get a point between us.
Hey.
Number 8, Super Punch-Out.
Let's go.
There was no scenario in which this game was not making the list. It kind of caught me off guard too, because I wrote down all the games that flew in my head when I was like for a top 10 list, and like it just slid up and up and up and up, and then it hit a sweet spot, and I was like, why do I like this game so much? I'm not even sure why I love this game so much.
Not even sure I'm good at it.
No, I'm not. I've beaten it. It took great effort and patience, but I just love this game so much, and I love the series too, despite the fact that I've never played the one on the Wii. Another video game shame, as someone who claims to be a big Punch-Out fan. I just love these games, man. If you haven't played and beat a Punch-Out game, honestly, I think you've missed out like on a signature and uniquely Nintendo experience. They were made originally for arcade, right? Like the original ideas. They were arcade games, and I know that they're literally arcade. Like,
if I'm not mistaken, you're right. Punch-Out was an arcade game, and then they got the Mike Tyson name and made it a NES game.
Correct.
And then they lost the Mike Tyson name, and it was just Punch-Out again.
Yes, and then they had a Super Punch-Out that was basically this game, but like with the grid Little Mac, I'm pretty sure, with the same perspective.
I've never seen that.
Because I remember the Punch-Out on the regular Nintendo was kind of like you step back. It was more like a above the ring versus being in the ring in this Punch-Out version. This is my favorite Punch-Out game. You're not going to see the regular Nintendo one on anywhere else on this list, although that is a great game. It's, like I said, an arcade-style boxing game. It's not a boxing sim, which you can play on many consoles today. It's more like a rhythm timing game, though. The first few like fighters that you run into, first one being Gabby J, that old guy with the mustache. Like they're relatively simple to beat. Like you can just kind of cheese it. You could probably just spam A or B and punch him in the stomach over and over again. But you can't get very far in advance, especially to the final circuits in this game, without like studying the opponents, probably losing a number of times first. Every fighter, as you would expect, like they throw punches, they throw hooks, they have uppercuts, etc. But they all have unique patterns, and you have to learn them. And they have like tells too. They give away their weaknesses. You're given 3 minutes to basically KO or to TKO your opponent. And if you can't do it in those 3 minutes, you just lose, even if you weren't KO'd or TKO'd yourself. So that might sound like a lot of time, but it's not.
No,
it's really not. And
they get up a lot.
Yeah, they do get up a lot. And there's a lot of energy to chip through with your punches and your super punches, etc. So you can't just sit back and like carefully play defense. You have to like balance defense with offense in this game. And this gets especially hard as you get like deeper into the game. Like some of these boxers, they throw combos at you that require like very precise dodges, ducks, and like blocks. Duck, dodge, dive,
dip, and dodge.
Yeah.
The rules of dodgeball.
But like the first guy you see this with is in the first circuit. His name's Piston Hurricane. It's this black boxer who he just looks ripped, like a lot of the boxers in this game are, and he just does this. I don't know what it's called, the Hurricane combo or something like that, but it's the first time you really realize, like, oh my goodness, I just got destroyed.
I'm not good at this at all.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe upon first play of this guy, some people were able to handle it, but it requires very specific timing with your dodges and your blocks. But you have options and ways to get by all these guys. And what's really cool is that most of the opponents have like an instant KO point. Not a lot of people are aware of that in this game, where if you punch or even super punch them during a precise like animation, they just go down like a ton of bricks, match over, you win.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the key is to finding it, right? And I know that I've kind of stumbled on it accidentally with certain fighters, but I definitely haven't seen it on every opponent. But the game too, like I feel like it's so charming. It's so funny and goofy. Like one of the reasons I think it's better than the original is like the fighters are so colorful, so animated, so just ridiculous. Like they're so dumb looking and dumb acting, and they taunt you constantly, and it's so fun to play. Some are like even pretty stereotypically like kind of racistly created. The fighters are. I'm sure you can think of a couple that I'm thinking of. I don't think they would have been greenlit by modern Nintendo.
Probably modern anybody.
Probably not modern anyone. But also, I think it's more challenging too than the original.
Should probably be clear. That's not why James likes
that. That's not why I like it, but it is something that is kind of funny in hindsight. But yeah, this game, dude, it takes like a driven, patient person to beat it. And something about it I have always loved. I watched my dad playing it grow up, and I saw him beat it, and I was amazed, honestly.
Yeah.
And again, my dad is one of the reasons I play video games to this day, whether he wants to admit that or not. It is. It's funny because he's probably at home right now playing Madden too, and he'd be like, "Oh, that guy, all he does is the ping, 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 ping." That's what my dad says when he talks about me playing video games.
Why is he so hateful?
As he's a hypocrite playing video games.
Why do you think you're better?
He's like, because I go fishing all the time or something. Anyways, I love this game. It's super gratifying to beat. I have beaten it a number of times. I'll always go back to beat it again. And I think that sometimes that is a tell of a game that you love, is you're going to go back, you play it again, you beat it again, and you still love it just as much. And so my challenge to you gamers is, can you beat this game?
It's a hard one. I've never beat Super Punch-Out. I've never beat any Punch-Out.
Can you even get to the final circuit where you're going to play Nick and Rick Bruiser? I don't know if you can.
James doesn't think you can even get to the end of the game.
And I know you've beaten Dark Souls, maybe you've beaten Elden Ring, you've beaten all these like traditionally hard games.
Can you beat
Super
Punch-Out?
Punch-Out?
What do they get if they beat Super Punch-Out, James?
That I should have got a giveaway for that one too. I'll come up with something. I'll give you something. Not only will I give you credit, I'll give you something worthwhile if you can prove that you can beat it, because it's a tough play, but it's also super fun and super worth your time. And again, I think a definitive.
If you're gonna give somebody something for that, it has to be played on original hardware.
Oh yeah,
because if it's played on any level of emulator,
no.
There's saves now. And
no
stuff.
saves. Well, I mean,
states.
What do you think? Original hardware, not NSO.
NSO has save states.
Yeah, save states.
Save states. Anybody can beat it with save states.
You're welcome to come over to my house as long as you're not a weirdo, and you can play. I'll give you my. Pick up my sticks.
Well, some people might have it. They don't have to come to your house. Now you're being a weirdo.
Okay, you're right. I'm just saying. I'm giving you options here, but if you can beat it,
like this has become a real thing.
I will respect you, and I will reward you for it, because I love this game so much. Super Punch-Out. It's a great play.
It's a great game. I've never been very good at it. I never owned it, so that's I never really had a lot of opportunity to play it. But I do remember watching your dad play it when we were kids. I know you've always really loved this game. I like it's like each fighter to me feels like a unique boss fight.
It does,
and that's like in any game, even in a Zelda game. The first boss is never that hard.
Yeah.
But as you move further, you have to. They get harder, progressively harder, trickier to figure out how to beat. Shadow of the Colossus is another great example of a game with just boss fights.
Yeah.
And this game, it's very difficult. But it is great. But I think it's charming.
I think it's fair at the same time. I don't think it's overly difficult. I just think it's challenging.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's cheap. It's just you have to be patient with it, because you have to learn it and try again.
Yeah.
So Dark Souls fans really should. That was a good analogy, because that's what a Dark Souls fan is.
Honestly, like
they love punishment, and then they go back and play it again.
I'm playing Expedition 33 right now, and like some of the timing based stuff in that game reminded me of Super Punch-Out, just like how you have to learn their tells, and you have to learn just the timing of things. It kind of reminded me of that too. So hey, if you like Expedition 33, there might be something in this game for you too.
You
honestly,
might like Super Punch-Out.
I'm just saying. There's some crossover there. Oh, and a fun fact that I honestly discovered literally in the last couple days: Charles Martinet. We all know who Charles Martinet is, the original voice of Mario, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, for the games, yeah.
Credited for providing all of the voice clips used in this game.
Really?
Isn't that
pretty
cool?
I did not know that.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Very cool.
The more you know.
There you go.
Well, that's good. I'm glad I got one right so far. I took a couple, but not too far. I got to 8.
Point to Chris. 1-0.
The competition is on. Well, you got one too. This one was a no-brainer. Everybody knew this was going to be on my list.
Ah, dang it.
It's. I mean, I would assume not to insult anybody, but if anybody put together a list and didn't have this on there, I would be surprised. And that is ToeJam and Earl.
There we go. Ding, ding, ding.
At one point, I had it higher on the list, and as I thought about it more, I'm like, I moved it to 7 because everything above it, I'm like, I like everything above it more, but different. It's different. ToeJam and Earl is, I mean, I've talked in length about this game on this podcast. I did a whole episode based off of the series. So just like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 with James, I won't spend too much time talking about it.
Yeah.
But it's just, this was my first experience. my first experience with the roguelite genre. Before I ever had any idea what a roguelite was, I played Toja and Earl. And, it's very much so. There is the fixed world where you can play through it and everything's the same. But what brought me and my friend Nick back to this game when we were kids, and my friend, his brother Mark, was the fact that there was the random world aspect. So no matter how many times you played this game, when you did random, it was a new gameplay experience every time. You didn't know what presents were going to be in what. The world layouts were different. It was just, there wasn't a lot of games like this back then because it was also split. When you're on the same screen, you played together. When you separated, the screen split and you could explore separately from one another. You couldn't move on to a new level without each other, but you could go back down to other levels separately from each other. And it gave it such an experience that you just didn't get in multiplayer games back then, really.
Yeah.
Because most commonly, multiplayer games were like beat 'em ups where you're on the same screen playing together.
Sure.
Or like Mario World or Sonic 2 where you're taking turns or the second player doesn't do anything, really, in Sonic 2,
Yeah.
Like, not that they weren't fun in their own right, but this was a whole new experience. And then that on top of like being a kid in the 90s and, like my parents did not want me listening to hip hop, but at this age, I didn't really know or care much about music, but they were so cool. Like these cool, rap, hip hop loving aliens, and the enemies were very versatile and they were even funny to a kid, Then the randomness of the presents and, opening each present, hoping that you get one of the really good items like a promotion, an extra life, or like the Icarus wings, and then accidentally opening a present and getting the total bummer or the randomizer that just screws everything up.
Yeah.
Well, it made each gameplay experience unique and fun. And we just have a lot of good memories playing these games together. And it's still easily one of my favorite co-op games of all time. And they've kept the games going, as I've talked about, and I love the series through and through. But the OG is the game that, won my heart as a kid. And if I could only pick one Toja and Earl game to ever play again, it would be the first one, for sure. So, a great game. It was always going to be on my list. Where it settled, changed a little bit. No matter how much I talk about it, the games that are above it, are loved differently. Maybe I would say every game on this list I love the same, but differently from one another.
Yeah.
And the rest of the games on this list have different, I hold my heart in different ways.
Yeah.
But Toja and Earl, fantastic. Nick, if you listen to this, I'll always think fondly of our mini gameplay sessions of Toja and Earl for the many, many years we went back and played this game regularly.
That's so cool, honestly. Yeah, no, I mean, it'll be fun to go over peruse people's lists, and if there's somebody who turned in a list that doesn't have this game on it, are they really a listener? I'm going to genuinely ask that question.
Yeah.
Without judgment.
Yeah. It's funny because it has become kind of like the joke of the podcast. So I'm sure a lot of people probably put it higher than this, and that is fair.
Yeah.
Because I probably have talked about it more than any other game on this list. But, at first it was by accident, and then it became kind of a joke because Hannah, James's wife, would be like, why are you talking about that game so much? So then I bring it up more to just be a punk. And, then things happen. I was able to talk to Greg Johnson, one of the creators of the game, because of the podcast and my love for the series. So
it's very cool.
Absolutely one of my favorites. Hands down, never questioned that it would be in my top 10.
Yes. And the question is that your only Sega Genesis entry on your list, I wonder?
I guess you'll find out.
Well, that was 7 or 8
that
for you?
That was 7.
I had that at 8 for you. I felt like I had it in the right zone in my predictions with you.
Yep, you were close.
Okay, so my next up is one that I have discussed in detail and recently, once again. Chris gets another point. It is the wonderful, the charming, the extremely difficult Celeste.
I got one. That was a wild card guess for me a little bit.
Was it a wild card?
I mean,
Yeah.
I felt like it would be on your list, but I wasn't. I wasn't positive, but I'm glad I got it.
It's the first. Will it be the last? I guess we'll see. But it is absolutely the first platformer on my top 10 list. One of the best platformers I think of all time. We have discussed this game in great detail on many occasions, including the very recent favorite games on the Nintendo Switch. It is super charming. It tells a story that is both heart-wrenching and relatable. For so many people, whether you've had anxiety or depression or not, I think it's just something that's it just appeals to people. It's touching. It is grounded in reality, whereas the gameplay is not. It doesn't feel realistic to complete it all when you first start it. It's such a difficult platformer, but so simple in practice, and the controls are wonderful. You're just working your way to the top of the mountain as sweet little Madeline, and I love this game, man. I think it's so good. I guess this technically isn't this is technically a multi-plat game, right? You can play it on pretty much any console, which is a good thing because I'm glad everyone has access to it. Maybe it'll even be on like mobile platforms at some point. I don't know. Maybe it already is, but
it should be. It'd be pretty easy to.
Yeah.
I mean, what do I know?
It's pretty much just left, right, jump, and then the dash in midair, effectively.
Yeah, it's very. Controls are simple. Gameplay is simple in theory, but very hard to master.
Yeah.
But man, once you get it, it just feels right.
It's a great game, man. It really is. I have a lot of respect and a lot of gratitude to the person or persons that made this game, that developed it, because it I don't know, it was like that first like aha or first like just wow moment that I had on the Nintendo Switch, where I was just like, man, I'm so glad I can play this game anywhere. This game, like, it's so good.
Yeah, it was definitely a big game for the indie movement too. Like they just did a lot of, I don't want to say firsts because I don't keep track of that stuff, but
Yeah.
a lot of things that I noticed first, like they did a good job. They took the Super Meat Boy concept of like the difficult platformer,
Yeah.
but brought it a little bit closer to home with its accessibility. But like up until that game, I never played a game that touched on things like you brought up, like anxiety and depression, and did so in such a like very
Tasteful
way,
and not like forcing it on you necessarily.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's you either resonate with it or you
don't.
It's a good story and you move on.
Yeah.
Like,
and like I don't think the story would have mattered so much to me at all if the game also wasn't an incredible game that played super well.
yeah. No, it's very, very easy to play. I started playing through it this year again, and I almost finished it, but
Yeah.
the completionist in me was trying to do everything, and I got a little frustrated and then moved on to other things. But I'll go back and finish it again. I finished it before.
Yeah,
but
I've never gone back and tried to do like a 100% run or anything where you get all the strawberries and everything, but I want to. That's one of my favorite games. It is something that is inevitable. I will go back to it. And yeah, I don't know if this is going to be a trend or not, but like that's two like pretty hard games that I have on my list in a row. Like hard, difficult.
you do like
I like a
them
challenge.
difficult
I like a
games.
challenge.
Yeah,
And Celeste is definitely a challenge, but it's a beautiful game
it is.
to play and to behold.
It is to both.
Yes.
Beautiful and challenging.
That's my number 7.
It's a good one. I'm at 2 points. James is at 1.
2-1. I'm a little concerned. I hope I can catch up.
Well, the next one, unfortunately, doesn't get you another point.
No!
You were close. But if you'd watched my video on the series, you would know for a fact
Oh
that
no!
my favorite game in the Suikoden series
Dang it!
is 5.
I should have known.
So this one was a struggle for me a little bit. And that's not because it's not... This Suikoden 5 has been my favorite in this series for... God, how old am I? 20 years now. Like, I absolutely love this game. I played through it multiple times when I first, I played through it right away, played through the rest of the series again, played through it again. I loved this game. I haven't played it in 20 years. So as I sat down and was writing this list, I was like, should I put Suikoden 2 on the list? I just recently replayed it, and it's just as good as I remember.
Yeah.
But when I played them before, I played them back to back, and I loved 2 then, but 5 was the one I liked better. So I'm like, I'm going to stick with my heart and my memory and keep 5 as my favorite in the series and keep it on this list.
Yeah.
And there was no, I should say real quick too, there was no rule about keeping one entry per series. I kind of naturally did it just because I could have inundated this list with just Suikoden games and just games for the other series.
Yeah.
But I was trying to be real to myself,
Yeah.
and kind of do that. But 5, I'm not going to get too much into it because, like I said, a lot of it is just memory at this point. So when Craig from Craig's Game Room, he was on the podcast back in June.
Sure.
And he mentioned Mother 3 as being one of his favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
Or one of his favorite games of all time. I don't remember if it was number 1 or not. I think it was.
I think it was.
And then he also said that he's only played it once and he's afraid to play through it again because he doesn't want it to, his memories to be wrong.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what this is with me. I'm not afraid to play through it again. It's not as easily accessible to play through again because I have to pull out a PS2 to play it. I could play it on my back compat through PS3, but I get nervous using that thing sometimes 'cause it's old. But I need to go back and play it and just kind of like weigh that I'm right, that it still holds this place, or if it would be replaced with 2. They're both very good games, but this game just really resonated with me. Fantastic story, just a beautiful world. It's all, the whole series is very intertwined, but 5, it's kind of like once again, I'm going to go back to the Uncharted 3 and the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 aspect, unlike those games, like this game is other people's favorite. It's not like it's crazy uncommon, but it resonated with me because of the dialogue and things that maybe some people don't necessarily hold as closely as I do. But I really loved it. I need to play it again sometime in the near future and weigh it properly against 2 again, because it's always been those 2 for the top, but 5 has just owned it for so long. But I love the game. I have nothing but fond memories for it, and I look forward to playing it again and verifying that it for sure is still number 6 on my list.
Very nice. Yeah, I almost had you.
You never had me. You never even had my list.
Oh man.
Generic Fast and the Furious quotes for the win.
What, pizza boy?
Find another way home, pizza boy.
Oh boy. So what am I at? I'm on 6 now.
6. Yep.
All right, people. This may come as a bit of a surprise. I don't know how many people were going to put this on their list for me specifically, but I feel like this year opened my eyes. I had an epiphany, even a recent epiphany, because when we did our top Nintendo Switch games, it almost made the cut, but it didn't at the time. I didn't put it on my top 5 Switch games of all time, and now it would make that list. I'm talking about Stardew Valley.
Playing it again has changed it. I almost put that on the list for you. I really did. I had it really close, but I was like, I don't know that he loves it that much.
Yeah, I don't think I knew either. I didn't know until recently. It's like one of those tropes in like a movie where like they're best friends for a long time or whatever, and then they're like, wait a second, I'm just in love with you,
What are you trying to get the heck away from me?
No.
What the heck is this?
It's a trap. I don't know. I'm not talking about us. I'm just saying, I think I've known, like in the back of my mind, that Stardew Valley was something really special to me for a long time. And I don't know. It just never hit me until this year. Like, we went back and started playing it February or March because we bought tickets. I bought tickets for our anniversary to go to the Symphony of Seasons, concert that was happening the weekend of PAX. And so we were like, oh yeah, let's just get back in the vibes. Let's we loved it the first time we played it. Hannah played it a little bit more than I had. And I don't know what I put into it originally, probably like 60, 70 hours. And I probably put that or more again into it. And honestly, not that much farther than my first playthrough, with tons of things left to discover and explore. Yeah. I'm sure
the things that have been added to that game in the last 5-6 years since you played it last is ridiculous. Yeah. He's always adding stuff to that game.
I love that man, and I love his game. And like I said on the Switch episode, like I'm gonna keep referring to it, and I'm sorry about that. But like at some point, I was sitting on the couch with Hannah. We were playing it not with each other, but next to each other, right? Because I don't know, the way we play games, if we're on the same screen together, we might have issues. I don't know. We haven't tested it yet. But I turned to her and I was like, is this the best game of all time? Like, is it that good? Like, I think this game is so good. It's just so fun, and it's so hard to put down, and it's so relaxing, and also at the same time a little bit not relaxing because, you have these days are timed and you got to get back to your house. Otherwise you lose items and money, and robbers will take your stuff, etc. But like,
Robert being the doctor,
Harvey. Dr. Harvey.
You're not a good doctor.
It's not just a farm sim, people. It is a farm sim at the surface, but it's so much. It is. It's a life sim. There's relationships, and there's fishing, and there's collecting resources and foraging and finding out backstories of weird characters that at first you're not interested in at all, but then at the end you're like, I really want to find out everything about you. It's just a really, really good game. with really, really amazing music.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it for years. So this is one of my. I love this game.
Yeah, it's so good.
I have it on PlayStation. I have it on my Vita. I have it on PC, which I never play on PC, and I have it on my Switch. And like,
Yeah.
if somebody was seriously like, and Keldrick, don't take this. We have so many other things we play. He wants to go back to Stardew Valley, but I keep telling him I'm not ready yet to go back to our plate.
Would this be
our
on
file.
Keldrick's top 10, I wonder?
Probably. It's a absolutely fantastic game.
It's so good.
It's easy to go back to. Like James said, there's so much to do. It's just
Yeah. I like
it's so good.
Like, I'm overwhelmed, but like delighted and excited for everything I know I haven't discovered yet. I know there's so much more, and I'm like I said, I flipped on Eric Barone is his name, right? I flipped on this whole thing. I don't want him to work on the next game. I want him to keep making this game even more incredible and perfect than it already is, and it is. To me, it feels like a nearly perfect game. It really does. And I don't even like farm sims. Like, you know me, growing up, you were the guy that played Harvest Moon. You were the guy that played what were the other ones that you played growing up? Mostly Harvest Moon type games, right?
Yeah.
I never played those games. I might have delved and dabbled a little bit because you liked them, and I was like, oh, I was interested and curious, but no game like this has hooked me like this one. It's more along the lines of something like Animal Crossing than it is something like Harvest Moon, you know?
I mean, it's like a beautiful marriage of the two in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Harvest Moon, that's the thing. Like the Harvest Moon franchise and then Story of Seasons eventually,
Yeah.
Rune Factory, they were all good at one point. You know, some might still be good still, but they kind of, the sameness of it got kind of old and they started to feel cheaper. It wasn't until Stardew Valley that I really was back into the farm sim again, because I loved Harvest Moon 64 and I loved Harvest Moon Back to Nature on PS1 and then Friends of Mineral Town on Game Boy Advance. But then after that, like, I kept wanting to play Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
I kept buying new Harvest Moons, but they didn't hook me again. I was not hooked by another farm sim until Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can still go back to that game.
Yeah, it's incredible. Can't recommend it enough. Literally, if you have not played this and you have any interest in video games, definitely try, please.
Yeah, I put this one back years ago now, towards the beginning of the podcast, when I had Ethan on here, who's not a gamer, and we did that episode talking about like series that maybe somebody wanted to get into gaming that should try. I had Stardew Valley as one of the games. Like, I feel like somebody who wants to try to play games but has never really dabbled too much into it.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a great entryway. Like, you still have to figure things out, but
absolutely.
It's very rewarding.
And I feel like part of my love for it on a small level is the aesthetic of it and the 16-bitness of it. Like, so much of my original video game loves and just history growing up was in the 16-bit era, and this game just like aesthetically, it takes me back to that era for some reason, but also it feels so modern and so like unlimited in scope, you know?
It does 100%. We played it so much when me and Keldrick were playing through it multiplayer. Mm-hmm. I want to say we probably put 80 to 100 hours in.
Oh, dude.
And I still know that there's more to do when I go back.
Oh,
like,
dude.
it wasn't even close to being... There's areas that I know we haven't explored yet.
Yeah.
Things that I know have been talked about that I haven't seen yet. Like, yeah, there's so much left to do.
What's crazy about this game is I feel like this is a game that has room to go higher on my list the more I play it. Does that make any sense? You know what I'm saying?
I can see that,
like,
for sure.
I know there's more to experience, so I feel like it could climb. And I don't know if that's true of any of the other games on my list so far. Like,
I would never judge anybody's list, but this is a game that I would 100% understand if anybody ever had it in their their favorite game of all time. I'd always understand it.
Yeah, for sure. So
I understand why you have it on your list. It's a very worthy pick.
Thank you.
That was your number 6, right?
That was my number 6. Oh, you didn't get hit on that.
I did not.
You did not sink my battleship.
Not today. So before we get into our top 5, let's take a little reprieve here, and we're going to go into some honorable mentions. Yes, so some of the games that we wanted, that thought about, we had on our list maybe at one point. They were really close, but didn't make it. This is the point where some of you will be disappointed to find out that you won't get extra points with this.
I'm sorry, guys.
We thought about doing this earlier, but we discussed and decided right in the middle is a good place to fall out. Not fall out. But that could be an honorable mention.
Could that be on your list? Could it be on my list?
No, it's not. Go ahead, James. Why don't you do your honorable mentions first?
Okay, and I won't.
Let's
I
go
won't,
through the list.
Yeah, I'll just go through the list. This is my list of. Oh, sorry. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. This is honestly going to be a spicy honorable mention list because it starts with Zelda: Ocarina of Time.
Reasonable. I didn't put it on my list for you.
There you go.
But I knew it was. It was a contender at one point for
It's
sure.
an incredible game. I don't think anybody would disagree. Metroid Dread.
I mean, I don't have, like I said, didn't have that on the list, but it's a fantastic game.
Super Mario World. Super Mario 64. You were there, but then you weren't.
At one time, you were on that list.
Smash Ultimate. You were there, but then you weren't.
Sorry, guys, if you had Smash Ultimate on James's list.
Halo Combat Evolved.
Dang, man.
You were there. It was in the 9 slot. I remember specifically where it was at. It was in the 9. I almost had 2 Gamer Bro games on my list.
Dude, Halo, the first Halo transcends Gamer Bro.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
It means too much to both gaming and just just a lot of things. It's great.
It's
I'm glad that at least it was in your honorable mention.
still an incredible. Think to this day it's an incredible game, and
The music,
like beat for beat, incredible game, top to bottom. And like Halo 2, everyone says it's even better. You know, like I've played it, but I mean, most people, if they said what was the objectively best Halo game, I think most people are going to go Halo 2. It kind of brought everything together. It put it in an online ecosystem, and just like it was a beautiful package with laser swords that were incredibly cool and scary.
yes, the energy sword.
Or maybe that was Halo 3. Maybe
No,
I'm
the sword
tripping
was
around.
added into.
Oh, okay. Anyways, so that Halo, you were there, and then you weren't.
And you were gone.
Perfect Dark. If Halo didn't make it, Perfect Dark wasn't going to make it. But like along the same lines and similar overlapping concepts and reasons.
I had that thought process.
Yeah.
Because Perfect Dark crossed my mind for you at one point, but it was exactly that. I was like, I don't see him having more than one shooter on his list.
Correct.
And I felt like if it was going to be one, it would have been Halo.
I think you're right. I may have to look back at my list, but I think you're right. Next up, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. What a freaking game, man. Like, I don't know why they stopped making these games, and it makes me sad, but they did, and please bring them back. And like the Sonics, bring them back, baby. I need some Spies vs. Mercs. If you just want to give me a single-player campaign, I'll take that, and I'll zip it, and I'll be very content with it, because that's also, they're incredible games, and this was my favorite of the bunch. I think it's where they kind of refined the experience and the multiplayer experience the most.
Yeah, it was great.
I don't know, like these games, like spy stealth games aren't usually my cup of tea, but man, these games are so good and so compelling and just so fun to like creep around, and you're kind of like on the edge of your
James
seat.
loves to
Creep around, man. They're fun games, dude. Really good games, like a better era of Ubisoft that I wish we were still in.
Wait, you don't have any Ubisoft games in your top 10?
Maybe I do. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Splinter Cell. Then I got UN Squadron. This was on the list for.
I had that for you
Yep.
in the top 10, and I took it out.
It was like I was like I'm gonna do Super Punch Out, or I'm gonna do UN Squadron, and I was like, it was like I said, which child do I love more? Sorry, little bro. Super Punch Out I love more. And
You call your children little bro?
little bro. yeah. So. But UN Squadron, along the same lines, I just love that game so much, and this is no.
Another
I don't
great
think
Capcom
I don't
Super
think any
Nintendo
less of you. I just think more of the other ones.
game. I just like your brother better.
All right, guys, this is maybe going to break some hearts and some entrance hearts, but Zelda: The Wind Waker is not on my top 10. It is not in my top 10.
I thought for sure it would be.
But it is in my top 20. I ended up with a top 20, basically, is what
Yeah.
I'm going through right now. And finally, this kind of, I don't know why it didn't hit me until the last second, but I was like, I love this game so. It is the game that I've played recently that I loved way more than I ever expected. Caught me off guard. Indiana Jones: The Great Circle. In the Great Circle. It is such a good game.
I know you guys really like it.
I think it's going to climb up my list maybe as time goes on.
Play that DLC, maybe you'll feel.
I haven't played it yet, but I'm
again.
going to. Man, I really enjoyed this game. It sucked. It sucked up my time and my attention, and it has some Super Punch Out mechanics as well. The punching sequences, I know they got some inspiration for sure from Super Punch Out. I think there's even some Easter egg callouts and names that are in there that are akin to Super Punch Out or Punch Out, the original one. But just a really fun game that is in first person perspective as well. Kind of puzzly and it's really good. It's really good. Good as any Indiana Jones movie, honestly. and playable. So, yeah.
Those are all very worthy honorable mentions. I just decided, spur of the moment, I'm gonna leave a couple of my honorable mentions out to add some spiciness to it. So
Okay. I see.
they just to make it feel like they could possibly still be in this list.
Okay, good. Yeah, I probably killed some dreams with my honorable
As it happened,
mentions.
I was like, oh, now I wish. Yeah, that's what. It's worthy still. I mean, it's totally fine. But there's two specifically I decided to keep out.
Okay. That's okay.
But anyway, Stardew Valley was in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Absolutely, like we talked about, love the game. It's one of those that it's kind of hard for me not to put it in my top 10 because of how much I have enjoyed it, but I just couldn't beat out the other games in here, and there's still some other games that I still put before it.
Yeah.
But it's somewhere in the top something. 20,
Yeah.
Probably 25-ish.
Yeah.
For sure. This one was, I feel like some people might be really surprised by this. It was on the list at one point, but I had to take it off just because there's everything else on this list I love just enough more. It might be my number 11, Chrono Trigger.
Oh yeah, I definitely consider Chrono Trigger for you and for me. Honestly,
Yeah, it was hard. It's hard. It was really hard not to put it on. This one was the one I spent the most time thinking about and really saying, like, do I truly like
yeah,
these games more than it? And the answer ended up being yes. But
yeah,
because what it was is when I was making the list, it was on the list at number like 7-ish.
Yeah.
And then as I was thinking about it, it kind of moved down a little bit. And then I realized I didn't have Knights of the Old Republic on the list. And I was like, I honestly think I like it's top 10 for different reasons.
yeah,
I will always say Chrono Trigger is one of the best RPGs ever made.
Yeah.
Hands down. One of the best entry RPGs for anybody to get into the genre. But it just missed my top 10.
yeah.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. I love the Tony Hawk series.
Nice.
I believe that game is easily probably in my top 20. It's my personal favorite of them. A newer game, Ghost of Tsushima.
Nice.
That game blew my mind
Yeah, you
in
did like
every
that.
way. I absolutely love that game. It's a masterpiece of both like gameplay and storytelling and just like absolute beauty in form of a video game.
Yeah.
I have so many screenshots on my console from moments in that game, like just looking out at scenery and stuff.
Yeah.
Where I was just like, God, this game is ridiculous. How beautiful it is. I'm very excited for Ghost of Yotoi.
That's this year, right?
It's
Ghost of
next month.
Yotei?
Yeah.
Nice.
I love this game. It just barely missed
Yeah.
my top 10 as well. Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden
Nice.
coins.
I was wondering if that was maybe like a precursor.
It's another one of those games. I love it. Like SteamWorld Dig, I can play through it regularly.
Yeah.
But it didn't make my top 10. Like
enough.
I enjoy playing it, but there are things I like more.
That's a hard book to land on. James Armstrong. Our top 10.
Oh man, he's my top 10 of all time.
There you go.
This one could be a little bit of recency bias, but I do believe as the dust settles, I will hold this game just as strongly, in my opinion. Abiotic Factor. I know I couldn't explain it.
It's
But
back.
the next day we finished it, and I like the actual story, and you can keep going. But I immediately just wanted to start over and try other things. I know nobody can care about this game by the way I explain it, but I love it.
I think
fantastic.
I think the more you rave about it like a lunatic, the more people want to play it, honestly.
They want to know what the heck I'm talking about. I don't know how to explain it, but god dang, I love that game.
That's
it
cool,
is
dude.
Definitely like, I don't know. I not worry, but as I continue to play it and experience it over the course of years to come, because I feel like I will continue to play it, it might change dramatically where it is. But I couldn't put it on the list just because I couldn't judge whether or not it was recency bias or not. Like it's like when you watch a new movie, you walk out and you love it, and you sit on it for a few days, and you're like, okay, it was good, but
Yeah.
I didn't love it that much.
Fair enough.
And then lastly, I'm just gonna say it. I was thinking about keeping this one off.
No worries.
It didn't make my top 10. It's right there with Chrono Trigger as far as being really, really close. And it was on the list at one point.
Yeah.
Mario 64.
Oh no! That's another loss for me.
But I mean, it's
I'm blown away, honestly.
I've never hidden my love for that game.
No. I know how much you love it. I was convinced you were going to put it on there.
And as far as like experience goes, there will never be I will always mourn for people the fact that they don't get to experience that jump from Super Nintendo to 64 like we did. Like, there's not playing Mario 64 for the first time is a gaming moment that I wish every person that loves video games could experience, but they just can't.
Best way to experience it in modern times would be play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 1, and then play it on Switch 2.
That's a terrible example. It's still, that is a huge upgrade, but it's still not like it was going from Super Nintendo to 64.
It's the only comparison that I can think of in modern.
Don't listen to James. That's not the experience. That's not the example to take. Mario 64 is fantastic. I like I said, I had it on my list. It just like James has said, as I thought about things and I moved things around, there were a few reasons as to why it kind of just fell off. And the main one being,
I was convinced.
I've only ever played through the game completely one time, and I never actually owned a copy of the game until much more recently.
Really?
I only ever borrowed it from you or Nick, like growing up.
Interesting.
So like, no matter how much love and how much deep, like, fond memory I have for it, I haven't played it as much as I have a lot of other things.
So on a subconscious level, if you loved it more, you would have already owned a physical copy of it.
Yep.
Which I wasn't privy to that information. So I feel like I've been cheated, and I want to redo my list.
It doesn't make sense. No, it's fair. It would have been a fair guess for anybody because I do love that game.
Yes.
But at least part of it is not purely, but very much so linked to the memories from that time. And even though the gameplay still holds up, it is still a great game.
Yeah.
That really played a huge part in my love for it, more so than actually playing the game.
It's a monumental and just timeless game that, it's just great. It's just so good. Yeah. So for both of us, it was pretty close. I honestly,
it's in my top 15.
Yeah.
Like if I was to actually, I didn't organize this into a top 20.
Yeah.
But if I was, it is definitely in the top 15.
There was no world where either of us were going to like think of a top 10 list and that game wasn't going to cross our minds. Like it's just too monumental.
When you live the time, especially, I don't know how you couldn't.
It was magical, dude. It was literally magical.
Yeah, it was. That's just a fact.
Yeah.
Okay. So those were our honorable mentions list. Apologies for those who may have guessed some of those games and they didn't make the list.
Don't leave just yet. Maybe you still won. In fact, it's very likely.
Somebody may be like right now, dude, we've done 10 guesses. I'm 10 out of 10. Somebody might have it. I don't know. I would be shocked, but that would be impressive. Oh, somebody out there knows us better than
if somebody gets
know ourselves.
One or both of our lists in its entirety, they deserve something else too. They deserve an extra credit bonus.
I agree, but I'm not rich, so you can provide the extra credit.
I may or may not be able to pull that off for you, but you're not going to do it, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that would be impressive. Mm-hmm. Okay, so back to the list. We're at number 5 now.
Yes. Was it you?
It's me.
Okay. Because I did Stardew Valley at 6.
So my number 5, I'm going to give you a point for this.
Okay.
And I'm going to explain my reasoning in a second.
Yes. Fist pump.
This is my Pokemon entry.
Oh.
And genuinely, the only Pokemon that had a chance of making my top 10.
Yeah.
It's Pokemon Gen 2.
Yes.
And I sat there.
I knew it had to be
I
on your
had
list.
Heart Gold, Soul Silver on my list. And then I was like, but maybe I really more like Crystal. And as I was going back, I'm like, it's stupid. They're both like they're both Gen 2.
Semantics.
Yeah, and I'm like, frankly, I can go when I want to play Gen 2. Sometimes I'll pull out my old copy of Crystal or play the version of Gold, Silver, or Crystal on my 3DS.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll pull out Heart Gold and Soul Silver and play that version.
Yep.
They're the same game at their core.
Yeah.
That's why I say if you guessed either version, any version that would be a Gen 2 version,
yes,
I think you deserve a point.
Thank you very much. I am glad that I called that, and I'm not surprised at all. I know how much you and I both love this game.
Yeah, man.
Everything came together. I mean, not that it didn't come together in Pokemon Red, but it definitely came together in Pokemon Gold and Silver.
Yeah. I mean, once again, this is where we start sounding old talking about video games.
Sure.
But we are of the generation where we lived the Pokemon hype at its beginning. We were just old enough to want it all and, appreciate all of it. Like we were just old enough where we were 11 ish, 11, 12, right in there when Pokemon Red and Blue came out. And those games blew me away. I didn't
Absolutely.
realize the Game Boy could have a game that deep.
Dude.
You know, like
I think anybody else would have thought the Game Boy was on its like last legs before that game dropped.
It was.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the Game Boy Color was right around the corner or like the same time frame.
Yeah.
But then this game that was a Game Boy game still came out, and 150 Pokemon to catch, a reason to own a link cable and trade with all your friends.
Yes.
I mean, the 8 gym leaders, you know, the different dynamic areas that, of course, haven't aged well looking wise, but at the time they were very dynamic and very awesome.
Yeah.
You know, the idea, I'll never forget the moment when I got Pokemon Blue and I called my friend Nick, because he was the one who talked to me about Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know, before it had really hit the States and gotten huge.
Got to give Nick a lot of credit, because if you hadn't told me, I might never learn about it either.
We would have learned about Pokemon. It was impossible not to. But he got us into it at the beginning because of this. He was
Yeah.
a couple years older than us, so he was a little more in the know about what's going on in Japan. I
Tapped
guess.
into the
But,
internet.
Yeah. But yeah, he was the one that told me. I remember calling him as my Squirtle was evolving, and I was like, "Guess what? My Squirtle just evolved into Wartortle." And we're like, "Oh, we got Pokemon too!" It was very exciting.
Oh, dude.
So that's Gen 1. Okay,
Yeah.
obviously lots of fond memories for Gen 1.
Oh yeah.
But when Gen 2 came out, it was just a completely different thing. You know, the fact that not only do you have a new area in Johto, 8 new gyms,
Yep.
new Pokemon to look forward to. The game was mostly fully in color now. They were Game Boy Color games. So the sprite work got a huge upgrade. You got a redheaded rival, you know, that was that was
you
great.
could relate to that. I think I was a punk.
They added things like baby Pokemon. I remember how exciting that was, thinking Pokemon that
Oh,
didn't
dude.
have as much like presence in the first game, like Magmar and Electabuzz, who they were cool and you wanted them because you needed the other version to get both of them, you know?
Yes.
But now they have like a baby presence. For me, the first time I saw Houndour, I was like, that is so cool. I've always been a dog person.
Yeah.
And I wanted a Houndour so bad, finding out you can't catch him until after you beat all of Johto and the majority of Kanto. It's always very disappointing.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, finishing Johto and then finding out that you get to re-experience Kanto
Oh my gosh.
as in a different time frame where, you know, time has moved on.
Yep.
Red has already beaten the Elite Four, and then you find out he's the champion at the end of the
Oh
game.
my god.
This was all so mind-blowing.
It is so good.
And I mean, it is a little bit of a cheat, but on top of all of these things being great, and
Yeah.
then Heart Gold and Soul Silver being perfect remakes of those games with added content, you know, the addition of the Pokemon following you behind. It's little, but it's huge.
The Pokewalker.
The Pokewalker, so good.
Yeah.
I also, Gold and Silver, it came out right after. I'm not trying to get like deep here or emotional on
no worries.
purpose, but it came out right after my sister died.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm
Oh,
12.
I honestly, I forgot about that,
13 years old, and I already love Pokemon. And the two things that really kind of video game wise that helped me through what was a really confusing and hard time for a
Yeah.
kid were Pokemon and Harvest Moon. I like spent a lot of time in these worlds,
Yeah.
not sure how to handle my emotions that I'm 38 and still trying to figure out how to
Yeah.
handle, you know, but
Who would at that age? you
Yeah,
know? Yeah,
like-
like you said, an adult has tough time processing that kind of stuff.
100%, you know, and like it was a lot to handle, and Pokemon Gold and Silver really helped with that a lot. And then when I had my own health issues, less than a year after my sister died, I remember my parents bought me Crystal as a gift, you know, like to kind of like, you know, they're trying to make me feel comfortable, like not knowing what's going to happen themselves.
Yeah.
But I remember like getting that copy of Crystal and being so stoked, and
Oh,
then
dude.
Crystal on top of it, adding the animations, adding the first game where you could choose to be a male or a female. Like,
Yeah. First, third version of a Pokemon entry.
and it was not. Yellow was first. But
Oh, you're right. What an idiot.
it was the first game that was it was an actual Game Boy Color game,
Yeah.
so they were able to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
And added like the story elements with Uesign, the dude who was obsessed with Suicune, basically.
Yep.
And then Suicune, you know, the 3 legendary dogs were so cool and hard to catch in the first game.
Oh, yeah.
But it made Suicune like story-wise catchable, which was
Yeah.
kind of cool in its own right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I love Pokemon. This podcast has a lot of Pokemon talk in it. We both have an absolute butt ton of love for Pokemon as a series.
Yes.
So but
much.
there is no Pokemon games that I personally love as much, hold as much of a soft spot in my heart as Gen 2.
Yeah.
and like I said, I've spent most of that time talking about just Gen Gold, Silver, Crystal. But Heart Gold and Soul Silver, when they came out at a time when, we're a little older. We're in our early 20s at that point.
Yeah.
But it's another part of my life I have a lot of fondness for. Us and Alex and Jordan and whoever else were hanging out. We'd take our Pokewalkers with us like a bunch of nerds.
It was so great.
And go on walks and trade stuff, I look back at that time extremely fondly as well, and I love those games. So it was an easy...
it was to me. It was just like, okay, so which Gen 2 version is he going to pick? And I was like, I figured you'd give me a point because it's only fair.
Yeah, for
it's
anybody
separating
who
the two
guesses,
is semantics. Like they're the same game. Just one has quality of life features and just maybe some different sprites, etc.
Yeah,
runs on a different console, but both incredible games. I mean, yeah, Gold and Silver. I think on some level I knew too. That this was the best Pokemon game when it came out. Like, for some reason, my earliest memory of playing Gold and Silver was in a Costco parking lot. I don't know why that is. Did we buy it there? Did I hate Costco and I refused to go with my parents and I just stayed in the car and played? I remember very specifically playing that game and catching... I think I was in the Lake of Rage where the red Gyarados is in that Costco parking lot, just like being like, oh my God, Pokemon can be different colors.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, it's so cool.
And then it being years before you realize shiny Pokemon are really actually a thing. It's not just a random red Gyarados.
Well, dude, the shiny rate at this point would have been like, I don't even know what.
It's high. 1 in 16,000.
Astronomical.
Like
I know. So... You did revisit the Kanto region, and the Kanto region had a Safari Zone, right, in Fuchsia City. Still, did it? I'm assuming, or was it closed?
I think it's closed.
Is it closed? Because I remember the first shiny I encountered in the wild was a blue Psyduck, and it blew my mind. And I was like, "Oh my God, it's a blue Psyduck!" But it's in the Safari Zone.
That's the worst place in the world.
And
to find.
you can't catch Pokemon in the traditional sense in the Safari Zone. You have to throw rocks or bait to either make it more easier to catch or to make the Pokemon more likely to stick around and not run away, because in the Safari Zone, they can run away, and they will run away if the right or wrong RNG basically strikes.
Yeah, it's completely random.
Yeah, yeah. And I remember losing it, and I literally sat there, and it was like I lost a loved one of my own. I was just like, oh, that was my unicorn.
Take my brother.
It's gone.
Give me my Psyduck back.
Never coming back. That was a bad day.
Yeah.
But Gold and Silver are incredible games, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Incredible games, and very, very worthy of your list.
Thank you.
Any list.
Are they on your list? Well, what's your number 5?
My number 5. My number 5 is Tears of the Kingdom.
Hey,
The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Number 5
Do you have it number 5?
Yeah.
I will only reward you a single point for that. I will
Yeah,
no bonus points. I will give you credit
God have mercy
for
on my
guessing the
soul.
exact position of it. That is pretty commendable. But it is the fifth spot, first Zelda game on my
there's
list.
more than one Zelda?
Oh, did I just spoil something?
Oh, spoiler alert.
Don't worry about it, guys. You all knew that anyways. We'll see. Tears of the Kingdom, man.
Hey.
What have I said about this game that I can't... What have I not said about this game that I can say now? Right? We had a whole really long episode dedicated to it.
It's Breath of the Wild.
I waxed poetic
Better.
on our top 5 Switch games episode this year. I just love this game. I think it's an incredible game. I think that we all know, anyone who loves Zelda games knows Skyward Sword was good. It was good. But by the time Skyward Sword came out, the formula was tired. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone knew it on a if not a I don't know. We all knew it on some kind of subconscious level. Like, Zelda's kind of tired. It's kind of run its course, and it needs to be something different. And Breath of the Wild brought that. Breath of the Wild is arguably the best game of all time to many people. It would be the number 1 on many people's top 10 lists.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
And it is, and rightfully so. And somehow they took arguably the GOAT of Zelda games and they made it more goatly.
You're even more goaty than the last
You
game.
are an even bigger goat. But yeah, I've talked about this game at long length, and I'm not going to tire anyone out, but it is such a good game. I think from the chilling opening sequences to the incredible close, the reveal and and how you get the Master Sword. I know the story gets criticized for being kind of like janky and out of order or confusing compared to like Breath of the Wild, but I don't think it matters. Like the story beats that they hit are just so strong, and they're so, like I've said before, the highs of this game are so high.
Like, they're in the sky.
They are literally in the sky. Yeah. There's the sky, there's the surface, there's the depths. There's just literally layers and layers and tiers of this game.
So many tiers.
And there's literally the tears of the dragon, and you learn to love Zelda as a character in this game probably more than any other Zelda game, I think. Although Ocarina of Time definitely would put their hat in the ring on that too. And for me, I was like, a 3D Zelda had to be on my list. It had to be. It had to be on my list, and I was like, which one is it? And honestly, until a couple days ago, I wasn't sure if it was Ocarina of Time or if it was this game. I wasn't sure, because Ocarina of Time, I love it so much. That is the number one also on plenty of people's lists, and for good reason. It opened so many people's eyes, not just to 3D or to Zelda, but to just video games in general, and it redefined what an adventure game could be for a lot of people. Ocarina of Time is just incredible, but for me, this game, like it redefined in a beautiful way what Zelda was.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I've seen one thing I've seen a lot in just random things I've watched or read or whatever, is that Breath of the Wild has really brought a lot of people that weren't really gamers into a completely different stratosphere of gaming. Like they may be kind of like Zelda before, but the time that they spent in Breath of the Wild was astronomical in comparison. It's a game that they just never really played or experienced something like that before.
Yeah.
And it changed how they played video games, and they started trying other things that are open world or a little more action oriented because of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And Tears of the Kingdom is that, but better. Like, I can admit that. Like, I've never strayed away from the fact that I'm not the hugest fan of
Fair enough.
of the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, but what I did play of Tears, it was an upgrade. It just wasn't, when I played it, it just wasn't the time for me to play it to appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's everything Breath of the Wild did, which everything it did fantastically.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's done it all better. It really has.
And picking this game is almost like picking Breath of the Wild, because you can't have one without the other. But
I agree.
It just did some things that were just so cool. It had elements of so many other Zelda games. I feel Wind Waker in this game. I've said it before. I'll say it a million times. Wind Waker is in this game, just in a different way, translated differently, presented differently. You're not sailing from island to island. You're basically flying from one corner of this massive continent to another on this scooter that you learned to create with Ultra Hands from some link on Twitter. And everyone used the exact same scooter. You all know you did. I did.
Come on, guys, you're not that creative.
No, and that's the thing, is you could literally do anything in this game, man. It's like it's a sandbox that is just, it's the sandbox of sandboxes. You can do
it is
almost anything in this game if you want to, but you don't need to enjoy this game. I don't feel like an especially creative person, but I just love this game so much. The dungeons aren't, like, I don't think refined or traditional in the way they are in Ocarina of Time or some of the other 3D Zeldas, but they're definitely an upgrade from Breath of the Wild, and super memorable and just breathtaking. The boss battles too, and then the fact that you can fight all these same boss battles again in this dark, scary, hard mode underneath the map is just wild and so imaginative. And just like, this game was so bold. This game feels like 4 or 5 different games in one game. I don't even know how to, it's such a hard game to
there's a lot
to describe. The scope is incredible. You can do so many things, and you can play this game 1,000 times, and your gameplay would be different every single time. It would be a different play.
Mm-hmm. There's a reason why it got so many 10 out of 10s when it released. There's a reason why that the discourse for this game was nonstop when it came out. The midnight launches before it came out were huge, which was cool to see. And then people played and talked about this game for months. Yeah. I feel like people were still playing it easily come fall. It came out in like May, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's really popular. And just to note really quick on what James said, he said you can't have Tears of the Kingdom without Breath of the Wild. That is true. are perfect. They go together perfectly.
Yeah.
But that does not mean if you said Breath of the Wild, you should get a point, because Tears of the Kingdom is a sequel.
No. They are definitely different enough and have their own different goals, right? Like, I think I talked about last time we talked about it. Breath of the Wild was like, it redefined what open world games were, right? And in a way that just redefined video games, honestly, in some ways. It sparked people's imaginations. It gave somebody a different way to experience an open world game that hadn't been done at that point. And then this game took what was like what felt like a massive open world game, and it made it literally like an open air game. You can literally go anywhere. We talked about the verticality going from the highest highs in the sky to the lowest lows in the depths. Like, and this game ran on the Switch 1. Like,
Yeah.
with very
It ran on the
little
Wii U.
hiccups that I remember at all. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tears of the Kingdom we're talking
Yeah,
about.
Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, Breath of the Wild too, but like this game especially, like there
Yeah.
are so many engines and like game mechanics going on in this game that are going on simultaneously in this massive world, and it does not chug. It runs wonderfully. Again, Nintendo and the Zelda team, they're literally wizards, and this game was proof of that.
It's totally Wizard, Annie.
Yeah.
Have you watched, sorry, totally off topic, but have you watched Skeleton Crew, Star Wars Skeleton Crew?
I did. I liked it.
I really liked
Me and
it
Hannah
too.
enjoyed that, honestly.
Yeah. It's very ET-esque. That's why, like,
did.
it kind of has that Goonies ET vibe. Like,
It did.
I really liked Skeleton Crew.
I think I don't know what I like about some of the Star Wars shows are really doing good world building and expanding the Star Wars universe, and I feel like that show did to some degree too. Yeah,
It was no Andor season 2 though. That show, my mind. We're talking off topic here, but I don't know the last time I watched something Star Wars and felt that much
dude.
at the end of it, I was like, this is quite possibly one of the best shows I've ever
Yeah,
watched.
dude, it's
Like, and this is coming from somebody. Rogue One was all right. Like, I
Yeah,
liked Rogue One, but I never
know.
liked it like everybody else did.
I totally agree. Like, I enjoyed Rogue One, but I was like, there were things about it that like just I don't know, that it didn't hit me the same way that like something like
It really resonated with people, and I thought it was fine. Like,
Yeah.
I did. I liked it just fine. I was not excited for Andor.
I'll say it once,
But
I'll say it
God, man,
again.
that show.
If Darth Vader didn't make that cameo in the end, I don't think it would have had the same impact that it did.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
kind of agree. But
But-
man, Andor season 1 and season 2 both. Oh my
So
God.
good.
So freaking good.
All right, we're going into our top 12 TV shows of all time right now. Forget the video games. Yeah. So, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. I can't wait to see what the Zelda team does next. They created literally infinitely large shoes to fill that I don't know what they're doing next.
Yeah, man,
Good luck.
it'll be kind of wild to see.
Gambate.
Okay. Well, number 4. I think a lot of people assume some aspect of this game would be on my list. And it was not hard to decide that this was going to make the list, and that's because it's just whatever. Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I settled on it had to be. It couldn't just be remake. It had to be remake and rebirth.
Okay.
Because they go together, and like it'd be. I mean, if I had to pick just one, I'd probably say remake. But I feel like the trilogy really is what makes it a thing.
Yeah, it's like if somebody asks me what my favorite movie is, and I go Return of the King, but they say Lord of the Rings. Yeah, same thing, interchangeable.
Yeah, and I that's very true. I thought about that with Star Wars, and it doesn't work as well because you can kind of like one of the original trilogy and not like the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
But Lord of the Rings, it's more like finite.
Yep.
So, and I thought about this, and like, unfortunately, if you said just Final Fantasy VII, I would say it doesn't make the cut. And that the main reason being, I love Final Fantasy VII. I've talked about it before. The base game, it was the game that opened up my eyes to larger RPGs. Like I'd played Earthbound, Mario RPG, Pokemon before that, but Final Fantasy VII was the first RPG I played where I experienced an open world, a huge story, and I loved it. But I've also always been honest about the fact that Final Fantasy VIII holds a special place in my heart, and I like it more than Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VIII didn't make my list. Final Fantasy VII didn't make my list. Final Fantasy VII Remake made my list.
Interesting.
And it's because it took all of those fond memories I had of Final Fantasy VII, all of the world building I'd seen, the characters that I loved, The side characters that I thought were great, but didn't have a lot of depth to them in the first game. Remake and Rebirth took those characters and made them all even better. And I don't think anybody could have expected that, because 7 is a fantastic game. Cloud is a great character. Tifa, Barret, Aerith, Sephiroth, all fantastic. And I think that nobody would have expected them to take 7, remake it, make it a 3-part game, flesh it out as much as they had, and make it so engrossing. The fact that they took pretty nominal side characters like Biggs and Wedge and Jesse and made, in 7, events happen and they're not part of the game for very long. And it's there's some emotion there, but mostly you just move on. They didn't play a big part. They took these small characters and made them impactful. They made them part of this journey that you're going on, part of the journey that you think you already know how it's going to go, and made him play that much more of a part into it. And then the fact that as you're playing it, that journey all of a sudden, because of really well written story elements, is actually maybe not going to play out exactly like you thought it was. The end of 7 remake left me on a cliffhanger that I was hungry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to keep playing, but they did such a good job, with what is probably the most monotonous part of the game. The Midgar portion of 7 was that first 10 hours when you play 7 that you just kind of have to power through.
Yeah. I remember. I'm familiar with that one.
And it's the first time it's fine.
Yeah.
But then after that, you have to power through that to get to the rest of the game, which is what you're replaying the game for. And they took that and they made it a 30 to 50 hour game, depending on how you play, all in Midgard, and made it fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, they took the most boring part of the game, made a whole game out of it, and they made me want to play it again.
Yeah.
I bought this game on PS4, played it, loved it. I bought this game on PS5 because I'm an idiot and I wanted the Steelbook, but I replayed it when I got it on PS5, loved it just as much as before, and I'm going to buy it again on the Switch too so that I can play it again, because it is such a good game.
Yeah.
And Rebirth just keeps it going.
Yeah.
So whereas, like, I just can't. Remake is really, like, if I had to pick just one, I'd probably pick Remake, but they go together. They're a book, they're a story that is being told in 3 parts that are telling from beginning to end the story.
Yep. That makes sense.
And it's just, it's fantastic. I love it. I'm not, by the time the 3rd game is over, it might end up moving up on my list. I can't say that it won't, but it's very happily at number 4.
That's awesome.
And
And I bet you can't wait for the 3rd one.
I can't, but I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I mean, honestly, hearing you just spew love about it makes me excited to get it myself, even though I'm not like a big fan of Final Fantasy guy. Here's the thing. I am now officially a big RPG guy. So like whether intentionally or not. So like I kind of have to play it.
It happened. It only took 25 years after I started playing RPGs.
I feel like
but
everyone I talk to just man, they just love this game so much. So
it's
I will
fantastic. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
What's your number 4?
Number 4, the other Zelda game I refer to.
Dang, it's number 4?
It's number 4. It's number 4. And okay, I should have said this. Oh, sorry.
It's a touch lamp. You
it's a
can touch
touch-
it 2 more times to make it brighter again.
Oh, really?
The base.
Well, that's pretty
There we
cool.
go.
Very nice. It's lighter now. All right, so I should have said this going into number 5. Going into number 5, which was Tears. Once I entered 5 on my list, basically I'm in the any of these games could arguably be my favorite game of all time zone of the list. You know what I'm saying? That's how I honestly feel, because I was, like I said, as we sat down here to start recording, I was flip-flopping the order of these, because I was like, no, what about this? Well, no, what about that? But this part of this game is, and just like these games in the top 5 to me mean so much to me that any of them on any given Sunday could be
See him on TV any given Sunday.
Now-
Win the Super Bowl and drive off in a Hyundai.
So you will get a point for Zelda: A Link to the Past, as you should, because
I knew it was on the list.
yeah,
It had to be on
this
the
had
list.
to be on the list. This is an incredible game. It is, for all the love that Ocarina of Time gets, and rightfully so. I feel like this game did almost everything that Ocarina of Time gets raved about for first. Without A Link to the Past and its Light World and Dark World, you don't have the future and the past in Ocarina of Time. You don't have what are some other comparisons in Zelda that are very, very similar to that? Like
You don't have Navi.
you know, that's true. I don't know. It made the formula that Ocarina of Time got famous for first, actually. And
Yeah.
I honestly like the dungeons in A Link to the Past better. I think the opening is more iconic. It makes me just really happy thinking about this game. Some of my earliest gaming memories, again, are playing this game, watching my cousin Melvin play, and just, man, the tone that this game sets at the very beginning with the rain pounding on the house and Zelda waking up as his grandpa goes to
Zelda waking
or
up?
sorry, Link waking up as his yeah. Wait, Zelda. My thoughts are all twisted right now.
Don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted. A Link to the Past is a great game, man. It's so good.
Yeah,
It's the GOAT of Super Nintendo games, arguably. It'd be number one again on so many people's lists, rightfully so. I just think it kind of defined an era. It was, when it came out, it felt so large, so epic, so massive, and even playing it now, it does feel really big and really large and kind of endless because
It's
there
a
are
big game.
so many dungeons, and it just keeps going. And when it feels like you've beaten the game at first, which is the light world, then it sends you into a whole new dark, twisted segment of the game that is even bigger and harder and
Yeah.
incredible.
Zelda 1 is the original Zelda is good and iconic in its own right. And it holds up in its own right.
It does.
But Link to the Past was that that upgrade that just felt, it was a Super Nintendo game, and it was like, this is why you own a Super Nintendo. This
Yeah.
is why you moved on,
Yeah.
because this game did everything that the original Zelda did, but way better and more.
Yeah.
Like it was very dynamic. And I remember the first time, because I mean, this is how my memory works, but I remember the very first time we ever hung out. My parents brought me to your house when you lived in the duplex, and Melvin was there, and he was playing Zelda on the TV, and I don't remember what we were doing. It was like they were trying to get us to be friends because my mom and your mom were going to go to the gym together or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I remember that being the very first memory that I like of hanging out with you, was that it has Link to the Past tied with it.
It does.
You weren't playing it, but you did. Like that, it was always a game that you were very fond of. I remember you playing it throughout the years many times. I remember you replaying it on
Yeah.
Game Boy Advance when it was remade. Like,
Yeah.
I know your love for this game.
It runs real deep, man, and I feel like it's an expertly crafted game too. I think this is one of the not infamous, but just incredibly so Miyamoto games that is super super famous. The way it's designed is so clever too, in that you use like the mirror and those portals at some points, and like you travel from from light world to dark world and dark world to light world to kind of traverse the map to get heart pieces. And that was one of the first in the series, I feel like, collecting heart pieces and trying to expand your heart containers and finding fairy fountains, and the music and the sound effects and the pink hair thing that Link has for some reason, and the different upgrades of suits, which also was a first in the Zelda series, different colored suits with better defense or higher offense. Like, it's just an incredible game, man. It's timeless. It's aged better. Oh, that's another notch in its belt that gets over Ocarina of Time. It aged infinitely better than Ocarina of Time did.
Well, Ocarina of Time has aged really well. I infinitely was strong. It has aged better than Ocarina of Time, but I don't know about.
I think it's aged better, man. And
No, I'm saying I agree. I just don't know about infinitely.
oh, I see. Yeah, I feel like along the lines of like Knights of the Old Republic, I feel like Ocarina of Time needs.
I agree with this.
It needs a remake. It needs a remake to take what many people already consider to be the best game of all time to a higher high.
I do agree that the younger generations now,
Yes.
that maybe, I'm trying to word this in a way where I'm not trying to be insulting.
No.
It hasn't aged as gracefully. That's just for sure. Even the 3DS port, which is better in a lot of ways, hasn't aged. It's still like Ocarina of Time hasn't aged as gracefully. It depends on how you play video games, on whether or not, without having grown up with it, how you'll appreciate it. I do think that Link to the Past is easier to go back to in that
Yeah.
regard, to somebody new or somebody younger.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's hard not to talk about one without talking about the others, right? Like I said, Tears was my 5, but it was also 5 was also almost Ocarina of Time, which was just edged out. And yeah, this
says a lot.
I just love this game so much. It means so much historically, not just for nostalgia reasons, but because it's an excellent game to this day. And I've played it a million times. I'll probably play it a million more, and I'll enjoy it to the very end.
So that was your number 4, yeah?
That's number 4.
Man, I was dead certain it was your number 1.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what made number 1 then, because I was pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad to see it on the list, because it would have been weird if it wasn't.
I would be an imposter if that game wasn't on my list. You couldn't trust what was coming out of my mouth.
Okay, so now we're getting into the top 3 now.
All right.
So this game, for a long time, I said it was my favorite game of all time when I was younger, for sure. And then as time went on, and I realized, you get older and you kind of realize things, and I realized that my number 1 game was really, another game was really my number 1, and this moved to number 2, and then a specific series has made it edge down to number 3. But I will always love this game. I would be shocked if anything could ever move it out of the top 3. Definitely never the top 5. It'll always be there. But I would be shocked if anything ever moved it out of the top 3. And that game is, you want to guess? Earthbound.
I got it. I got a point, baby.
It gets a point. Yeah, Earthbound. I've raved about this game before. It's the rhetoric around this game is an interesting thing, because when we were kids, in the 90s, the late 90s, my friend Nick once again comes up in this episode. He and his brother had a copy of Earthbound, and I fell in love with this quirky game where you play as this kid who has a baseball bat and you fight blue cultists, and I didn't understand it, but it was so charming that I just had to play it. And I was always excited when I go over to his house, and they would be playing it, and I'd be looking through the player's guide that they had that came with the game. They had the scratch and sniff cards. I can still smell the banana scratch and sniff card.
Nice.
It was just very fond memories. And then when I finally got it, I loved it. I loved that game. It was my first real RPG. It was my first RPG at all. I didn't have Mario RPG yet. I didn't have Pokemon yet. And I remember I went into it was a Funko Land, which eventually was bought. GameStop bought them, so they're kaput. But over there by off Center Street, where that GameStop is, that used to be the Funko Land, and that is where I walked in. I asked if they had Earthbound. They had a copy of Earthbound for $20, and I bought it with money that I don't know where I got, but I had $20.
Yeah.
And I've held on to that copy for the longest time. Excuse me. It might not be my number 1 favorite game of all time, but when people ask, your house is on fire and you can only save 3 things, real people and pets excluded. What do you grab?
Yeah.
Earthbound is one of those 3 things. And it's not because of the value; it's because of the sentimentality behind it.
Yeah.
It still has my save file from when I was a kid.
Aww,
still has,
honestly, that's the coolest thing.
Yeah,
dude.
it has my nephew, the one who's just a few years younger than me, Nathan. It has his save file on it still from when we were kids.
Dude, that honestly is really special.
And unless the battery is died, I haven't popped it in for a while.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is just that. It was a huge game for me. I loved Earthbound, and nobody knew what Earthbound was. It wasn't a huge popular game back then. And yes, it's not as rare as people say it is. There's more copies out there than people say. But that moment when Smash Brothers came out, and everybody's playing Smash Brothers, and everybody's unlocking the special characters, and everybody's unlocking Ness, and nobody knew who Ness was. But I knew who Ness was. That was a moment for me. That was as a child, as a kid.
Yep.
You knew who Ness was because you knew my love for Earthbound.
Yep.
But everybody's like, who's this little kid? Why do I want to play as him?
Yeah.
I was mind blown. I was literally my favorite video game is represented in this.
Yeah.
I
totally get it.
I love Earthbound. I've played through it countless times. It's charming. It's creative in its uniqueness against other RPGs of the time.
For sure.
Like I said, if somebody was asking me one RPG to get me going in RPGs, I wouldn't suggest Earthbound. I would suggest Chrono Trigger, but that doesn't mean that it isn't what I would suggest next. You know,
Yeah.
I would love people to play this game, and like I said earlier, the rhetoric around this game has changed. It has become that game that like people getting into collecting, they know like, oh, Earthbound's a rare game, or it's an expensive game. Like Earthbound's a good Grail game to have on my shelf for
Yeah.
Super Nintendo. And like I hear more negative talk about the games now than I used to, because I think people have gotten a little like sick of hearing about Earthbound.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, like now everybody's kind of played it. Everybody talks about it like it's this big deal, or like it's a big game when it wasn't. But it's just like, for me, I played it at the ground floor. Like,
You were there first. You were there first.
I don't know. I love it. I'll always love it. One of my greatest gaming sins is that I haven't just bit the bullet and downloaded a ROM and played a translated version of Mother 3.
But I understand why you're holding out entirely, and I almost would too.
I just want to play it how it's supposed to be played, and that's not going to happen. But I will play it one day. I need to, like I said, I need to just do it. But Earthbound, I love that game. I remember going camping and sitting there at Lake Chelan, wanting to being like, when I can't wait to go back home and finish Earthbound. Like, what a little nerd.
These outdoors suck.
Yeah, I mean, I was still having fun, but I was actively thinking. I
Yeah.
remember I was in Magicent at that
Yeah.
point. Like, that's pretty far into the game, and that's where I had to save it and leave for 2 weeks or however long we went camping.
Yeah.
And like, I remember thinking about that, and like, I don't know. I love this game. That's all there is to it. I'm sure a lot of people know that. I hope it's on a lot of lists.
Yeah.
Earthbound, easily in my top 3.
That's great, dude. Yeah.
It is great. I agree.
Well, that was number 3 or number 4 for you?
That's number 3.
Number
My number 4
3.
was Final Fantasy 7.
That's right. Oh, so I nailed it. Earthbound at number 3.
You did.
Let's go. I knew it was up high. I'm a genius.
You are a genius. Genius.
So number 3 for me will come as no surprise to you, or even the listeners. But it is Metroid Prime.
I have that on my list.
You have
but
it on
I have
your
it
list?
at number 4.
Well, you had it at number 4. Yeah, very close. Very close. Very admirable. I respect that. Metroid Prime. Man, I love this game. It is what's crazy about Metroid Prime is that like people had really high expectations for Metroid Prime, needless to say, because of Super Metroid and the legacy that it had. And what's weird about it is like Mario 64 had broken through on 3D, and Ocarina of Time and Zelda had broken through on 3D. Obviously, both masterpieces, right? Incredible pieces of content and gaming. And for some reason, nobody thought that Metroid could do it. They thought the translation to 3D would be trash. And then especially when people found out that it was going to be a first-person shooter, essentially, people kind of lost their minds. Maybe not like the same way they did when Wind Waker was announced and they showed the art style on that, but like to a similar people wrote it off immediately. I remember, I guess I don't know how tapped we were into the internet, but I remember people thinking this is not going to work. This is going to be bad. and then you find out it's some studio in Texas making the game in retro, and you're like, this is going to be bad. This is going to go real poorly.
It's not even a Japanese team.
And then this game drops, and it is one of the most immersive, compelling, just incredible games I have ever played up to that point. And it was everything I could have hoped for in a Metroid game. It was like, I don't know, they took the formula that had been made in Metroid 1 and 2 and eventually Super Metroid, and it felt the same, but it felt like it was the same feeling, but like in the 3D environment. And it opens in a similarly thrilling fashion, like in this space station, and they kind of set the boundaries, and they kind of tell you how to play the game right from the get-go, and they give you a boss right at the beginning, similar to Ridley in Super Metroid. And man, it's such a good game, dude. Like, it's beautiful. It was the best looking game on the GameCube, like hands down, if you ask me.
I'd probably agree with that. I can't think of anything that looks better.
Yeah,
Maybe Metroid Prime 2, but I don't remember.
the vibes of this game, right? Like the loneliness, the music, the weather effects, the power ups, the baddies, the Z targeting, the rolling around in morph ball form, but in the 3D environment, almost like almost like it was like a pinball game in a
Yeah.
in a 3D shooter. You know what I'm saying?
The
like,
one thing that I think nobody thought would translate to 3D, it was the morph ball, and it did fantastically. I think it controls really well.
dude, it really does. Yeah, just going from that into first person and back, like they found a way to make a Metroidvania in a 3D landscape. It's like if somebody said it was a first person shooter, I'd say yes it is. Yes it is. If somebody said it was a first person puzzler, I'd say yes it is. If somebody said it's a first person adventure game, I'd be like yes it is. It is all these things all wrapped up in one beautiful package that just it doesn't overstay its welcome either. I feel like it's the perfect length for a game too. It's like 15 20 hours maybe if it's your first playthrough. I feel like if it's maybe the first Metroid game you've played. And my goodness, dude, it like tells a story too very subtly as you scan the flora and fauna and the baddies with your heads up display, which
Yeah.
also is really cool. There's not enough nice things I can say about this game, man. It's just such a cool, thrilling experience.
It is. It's fantastic. The exploration in that game was just so good back in the day.
Yeah.
And then the remaster on Switch
Yeah.
was shockingly
Yeah.
well done, especially for a Shadow Drop, like cheap physical release too.
Yeah.
Well, cheap in theory, $40 is pretty cheap, but
Yeah.
like it's a great game. It's one of those things like replaying it, like when it came out on Switch, like I was afraid that I wouldn't like it as much as I remembered.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
I handedly liked it
Dude,
more than I ever remembered.
Dude, I couldn't put it any better, dude. I felt the exact same way. It's like similar to what you said about what Craig said, right? Like about replaying a game that you already love. Like I feel the same. I had like cherished and like almost like more than precious. They were like sacred memories of this game. I was like playing this game for the first time felt like something I could never re-experience, you know? And it
absolutely.
felt, and the game played on the remaster on Switch, it looked how I remembered the game looked in 2003 or 2004, whenever this game came out, right?
Yeah.
I was blown away. The remaster is incredible, highly recommended. Like, and what's funny
We've
too,
talked about it so much in the past too, because it just really blew us both away.
yeah, it was so good, dude. Like, and you go from a critical perspective too. I forgot that this game actually had a Metacritic. Like, you go back and this has like a 97, the original on Metacritic, and it has like a 94 or 95 on, I think the remaster does for Switch. So like,
You said something a second ago that I think actually really hits the nail on the head when it comes to the remaster too. It felt just like it did playing it on
did.
the GameCube, and that is a hard thing to capture with a remaster, because usually there's something that just feels off. But it felt, other than the fact the controls were better,
they were way better.
it felt exactly the same. And when obviously graphically it's going to look better, you know, but the idea that that a game 20 years separate from one another can feel the same is very hard to emulate.
Yeah.
And they did it with that remaster.
Yeah,
They really did.
Yeah, no, like I said, like the way that they improved the game with controls and just brought it to a modern audience, it made it, to me, feel like a remake as much as a remaster, just because it felt, for a game to be 20 years later and feel just as beautiful, but also just control way better, like with the twin stick element that any shooter has. Like, it's an impressive accomplishment. I wish it would have got more accolades, but honestly, it got lots of love on the Switch, and it just amazes me, dude, that this is arguably the best game, not just on the GameCube, but on the Switch, which has one of the best libraries of any console.
Yeah.
Like, just think about that. It's arguably the best game on the GameCube and the Switch. Like, that's
pretty impressive.
that's crazy.
And that is why, you know, our hopes are so high. And
I know,
and,
I know.
You know, scary so for 4.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, you're playing with our feelings here, Retro. We're just hoping it can live up to the legacy. And 2 and 3 are really good too, but nothing hit like that first one, you know.
Yeah, I never
as good as
played
2 and 3 I thought were, like, nothing hit like this game.
Yeah, I want to find time to play 2 and 3 before, but I'm struggling with the idea of playing with motion controls.
Yeah.
Because I played 2, but I never finished it, and I never played 3 at all.
And if 4 is coming out December 4th, right? We're not getting a remake or a remake. We're definitely not a remake. We're not getting a remaster of this.
I was really hoping.
Is this even going to come on NSO 2 and 3? Like, you have to do something. This is getting out of hand.
Well, 3, they don't have a Wii Virtual Console yet.
Yeah,
So
that's rough. I don't know. They must feel like 4 is going to be standalone enough ish to not matter whether you play 2 or 3.
I hope so. I
But-
hope that's what it means.
But 1 is such a definitive Metroid experience and definitive Nintendo experience that anyone has to play it.
Agreed.
You have to play this game.
I really hope that I would love everybody to play it. It's that good.
It's so good. I love it.
Yeah. No, very worthy. It's easily somewhere in my top like 25-ish.
Yeah.
But hey, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
a hard thing to do. Narrow these lists down.
Dude, it is hard. It's really hard. Yeah.
So, okay, we're at number 2. You were close. So this is a hard one. I've chosen over the years not to talk about this series too much on the podcast because I don't play a lot of mature stuff, and that's not by necessarily by morality choice. That's by just it's not as interesting to me. I'm not into gore. I'm not into language. I
agree.
It's just not. It doesn't. I don't find that stuff as something that needs to be something to make it more interesting.
Sure.
Usually it's kind of a turnoff to me. But never across the board. That's not true. That's just not necessarily true completely. But
Sure.
This series is one that I love a lot. And any
I know you
game
do.
in this series, with the exception of 6, could have probably been in this spot.
Uh-huh.
But I had to give it to Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Okay.
And
Nice.
there's a lot of reasons for that. And one like Resident Evil 1 is fantastic. The atmosphere is fantastic. The two you playing as either Chris or Jill and getting very different but similar experiences is fantastic. It's a great game. It was a great starting point both in the OG and in the GameCube remake of it. But 2, Claire and Leon are not even my favorite characters in the series. I love both Claire and Leon. But it's the ambiance of the game. Claire is just looking for her. She's going to the Raccoon City looking for her brother. She's not a trained soldier. She's not a police officer. She's not somebody with fighting experience. She's going there because she's lost contact with her brother. She knows something's up in Raccoon City, and she's going because they were both, they have a strong bond. They were both adopted.
Yeah.
And, she needs to make sure her brother's all right. Leon is literally going to Raccoon City for his first day of work as a rookie police officer, and he didn't realize he's walking into hell.
Yeah, literally.
So you aren't playing as super soldiers. You're not playing as these strong characters that are so confident in every move they make.
Yeah.
You're playing as people that you can kind of relate to some extent. Like they're going with reasons that you can understand. Claire looking for her brother, Leon walking into a mess trying to figure out what the heck's going on, and because I say this loosely, but the general concept of what a police officer should be to try to help.
Yeah.
Like, so they want to try to figure things out and help things and help people,
Yeah.
And he's just trying to figure out if anybody, what has happened here, like, seeing if anybody's alive, seeing if he can help. And he's met Claire at this point, and he needs to find her again because you play their stories separately from one another. You play as either Leon or Claire. But it's what I like about this game isn't the fact that they're horror games, it isn't that, they can be kind of violent at times. It's the suspense that the games draw. Like when you're wandering around the Raccoon City police station, which is one of the most incredibly iconic locations in all of video games. It's every corner is terrifying because you don't know what's lurking around the corner. And as you run into things like the Lickers, which are monsters that walk on all fours and have very long tongues, and they don't have eyes, but they react to sound.
Yeah.
And when you run into your first one, you'll poop yourself in fear because they're terrifying. They move super quick, and you're trying to run away. And finding all these things for the first time and making your way through the Raccoon City police station is just such a moment. And then there's the moment where you run into the terrifying tyrant, which is a version of the zombies. that his name is Mr. X.
Yeah.
This unlocked something in me that I didn't know I was into. This sounds very sexual. I don't mean it like that. But that is like, I like the stalking aspect. Like, I don't like it. It's terrifying. But it also gives me a rush that I can't help but kind of go back to.
Sure.
So Mr. X, the first time, I'll never forget the first time I saw him. You're walking past because you're trying. There was a helicopter supposed to come and save, some of the survivors.
Yeah.
And the helicopter comes and crashes. So you have to figure out how to get up to it. You're trying to go see if anybody's alive. And when you get up to the helicopter, just as you're walking up to it, all of a sudden the helicopter lifts up. And it's pushed off the building because it crashed into the building. And this towering, like, person in a trench coat and like a fedora type hat. It's not a fedora, but like, a hat is just staring at you. And you immediately are like, bam, 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 like trying to, and your gun is doing nothing. Like, it is not phased. And you're like, crap. So you just immediately book it. And then you run to a safe room and you think you're okay. And then you hear the footsteps and he's coming. And yes, there are rooms that are safe that he can't come into. But that sound when you're wandering around the police station and you're trying to still figure out these puzzles so you can move on and move out of there. Yeah. And you hear the of his footsteps coming up and you're like, and the panic that sets in. It is just a vibe that I can't explain. You don't want to get caught, but it's like, I don't know. There's something to be said about that rush of knowing he's close but getting away. It's so hard to explain. But the whole game, that's just the beginning of the game. It just continues to get good, and Resident Evil has become iconic in its scenarios. And at the end of every game, there's always a laboratory. Because the whole virus is based off of, it's a virus. Umbrella Chronicles released this virus on accident, and it's what turned people into mindless zombies. It wasn't a raise from the dead. It was a viral outbreak. So every game always ends with some kind of laboratory involved to at least some extent.
Yeah.
And that whole scenario too, like walking into this, finding this underground, ginormous laboratory that like isn't there on the maps. Nobody knows, like, why is this here?
That's cool.
And as you're continuing to learn more about, the Umbrella Corporation and, unravel this stuff that started in the first game, and you're learning more about what's happening in this game. And it's so good. And then on top of it, the fact that whoever you pick first, Leon or Claire, once you finish the game, you immediately have the option to play through the game again for the B playthrough, where now you play as the character you didn't play as, and you see the events you kind of see the unfolding of the events that were happening for the other character
from their perspective
as you're trying to figure out a lot of the same stuff, but not like it's, you're moving parallel, but people who listen can't see, but you're crossing over and under each other, trying to figure out the same things, but differently. And then that's the only way you can get the true ending is once you finish both playthroughs.
That sounds really cool.
It's
I can't believe I haven't played this game, honestly.
Yeah, I always recommend things like this very cautiously because I never want somebody to possibly be offended by a recommendation.
That's fair.
But I love this series. Every game in the series is something I hold dearly for different reasons. Even 6, which is widely considered the worst, and it probably is the worst in the series.
Yeah.
5, I love the co-op in that. That is one of my favorite co-op experience games. It's so good. But I mean, any game in the series could have been on this list. In some days I could probably have a list where it was almost all just Resident Evil games, but I wanted to keep it to one. This was the right entry for me.
Yeah.
And, it revitalized the series. Well, 7 did that in 2017, but it revitalized the remake aspect of the series in 2019.
Yeah.
And, just that good.
It is that good, man. It is that good. Okay, so I'm at...
number 2.
I'm at number 2, right? Okay, well, I know what my number 2 is. You don't know what my number 2 is, but I feel very confident I know what your number 1 is at this point.
Yeah.
And if it's what I think it is, I think my number 2 is your number 1. And so I think it fitting that you introduce your number 1 right now so that I can talk about my...
Hold on. Let's do something differently because I'm almost positive you're right.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do then, you're going to have to do your number 2, and then and I'll do my number one, and you'll finish with your number one. We're going to go through the list, the reader's list now.
Okay.
So they have to be in suspense for not just my number one, but your number two and your number one.
Okay. yeah. Sorry to shake it up like that.
No, that was how it could
I
happen.
think we could both see that. We both saw it kind of coming towards the end of this list, I'm sure. Like with this, we've reached a situation that has to be handled.
Yeah, this has to be dealt with. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I had asked everybody who wanted to enter to send me their list directly on Discord. I'm going to read through every one of these individually, and we're not going to discuss it much because we need to get through these. But what we are going to do is James is going to try to keep track of score, and if possible, I want to announce the winner on this episode.
Yes.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 entries.
Sweet.
So shouldn't take too long.
Good job,
but
guys.
We're going to start with Ryan. Ryan was the first person to enter his list. So first, James. He didn't do them numerical, but I'm going to start from what I think would be 10 and work up.
Sure.
Number 10, Wind Waker. Number 9, Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Okay.
Number 8, Xenoblade Chronicles. 7, Celeste. 6, Metroid Prime. 5, Link to the Past. 4, Pokemon Black and White. 3, Metroid Dread. 2, Tears of the Kingdom. 1, Super Metroid. He did a very good job.
Dang it, this guy's good. Okay. Blow through that one more time real quick so I can add them up the right way.
Wind Waker, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Xenoblade Chronicles 3,
Okay.
Celeste, Metroid Prime, Link to the Past, Pokemon Black and White, Metroid Dread, Tears of the Kingdom, Super Metroid. Okay? My list.
What a baller. Okay.
Yeah. Stardew Valley, Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Kingdom Hearts 2, Final Fantasy VIII, Super Metroid, Suikoden 2, ToeJam and Earl, Super Mario World, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Did you get all those?
How many did he get from your list? Because I got how many you got
Okay.
from my list. That's
He
the way we should do it.
That
because,
makes sense. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
He got 4 on my list. He was close with a couple.
Okay.
Because Suikoden 2 was close. Final Fantasy VIII was close. On a different day, Chrono Trigger. But good job, Ryan.
Ron, you're a killer, man.
All right. Now I rock a teller suit. Our boy Rob.
Rob.
For James, number 10. I like that he put this on. This guy listens because I almost had this on your list too. Number 10, Fortune Street.
Dude, I thought about it too. I thought about it.
I thought about it for your list
I thought
multiple
about it.
times. So number 10, Fortune Street. Number 9, Chaos Theory. Number 8, Celeste. Number 7, Animal Crossing New Horizons. Number 6, Astro's Playroom. Number 5, Pikmin 3. Number 4, Tears of the Kingdom. Number 3, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Number 2, Pokemon White. Number 1, Metroid Prime. He did good on yours too.
Good job, Rob.
My list. Number 10, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
Nice.
9, Tony Hawk 3. It was close. 8, Harvest Moon 64. It was also close. 7, Twisted Metal 2. That was a good guess. I do love Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I'm honestly, did you consider Twisted Metal at all on your list?
Not in my top 10.
Okay.
But it was still a good guess.
Nice.
Number 6, Pokemon Crystal. Number 5, Suikoden 2. Number 4, Super Mario 64. Number 3, ToeJam and Earl. Number 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Number 1, Earthbound. So we got 4 on my list.
Okay.
He did good.
He did.
Every one of the guesses on there were all things that I've talked about with a lot of
Very,
fondness.
very thoughtful entries so far.
Absolutely. All right. Keldrick.
Kill.
Let's see here. We'll start with James again. Number 10, Majora's Mask. Number 9,
Nice.
Wind Waker. Number 8, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. Number 7, Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 6, Mario Kart 64. Number 5, Tears of the Kingdom. Number 4, Breath of the Wild. He said, James, this guy got no diversity.
Kill. I love the effort, bro. I love the effort.
Number 3, Smash Brothers, just OG. Number 2, Ocarina of Time. Number 1, Pokemon Black and White.
Okay.
And for me, he did 10, Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver.
Nice.
9, Final Fantasy 8. 8, Final Fantasy 7. 7, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. 6, Resident Evil 7. 5, Final Fantasy 7 Remake. 4, ToeJam and Earl. 3, Suikoden 2. 2, Earthbound. 1, Super Metroid. You got 5 for me.
Okay.
Good job. Hannibal. Okay, so this is Hannah, and just so everybody knows, she wanted to enter because she wanted to see if she could possibly get the most right, but she's not she's not eligible for the prize.
She knows my mind far too well for it to be fair.
Yeah, we couldn't we couldn't let her win, but she wanted to enter, and I was like, that's fair.
She still wants to prove that she's better than all of you, so she's going to try that right now.
And then she can talk about it on the next episode, 'cause she'll be on the next episode. All right, for James, Madden 11, close but no cigar. Number 9, Link to the Past. Number 8, Smash Brothers Ultimate. Number 7, Super Mario World. Number 6, Pokemon Black. Dude, if Pokemon is not in your top 2, everybody has misunderstood you, including me.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Number 5, Celeste. Number 4, Tears of the Kingdom. Number 3, Xenoblade 3. Number 2, Metroid Dread. Number 1, Metroid Prime.
Okay, she did really well.
She did. For me,
I almost want to give her one for Madden because she's the only one that's guessed Madden so far. I feel like I will give her one.
You can give it.
Because like, there's so many Madden entries. It's not even fair to like insist that she picked the right Madden entry. Like,
it is. I agree, actually.
All right.
So she only did 8 for me. But she did Tojo and Earl, Knights of the Old Republic. Good job, Hannah.
Wow.
Resident Evil 4, Metroid Prime, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, OG Final Fantasy 7. Very close. But,
I did that too.
Number 2, Mario Odyssey. Number 1, Earthbound. So she got 3 for me.
She got 3. Hey, by the way, was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 considered for your top 10?
It wasn't.
I didn't think it would be, but I was like, you did say it was your favorite Switch game, so I was scared to leave it off the
Switch games
list.
made my list.
I know, no Switch games. Okay, so she got 3 for you?
She did, yeah.
Okay.
All right, Alex. So you ready? Mm-hmm. For James, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Halo,
Nice.
Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, Pokemon Black and White, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate, Mario Kart 64, the second Mario Kart 64, Super Mario World, Link to the Past, Super Metroid.
Okay.
Alex, for number 10, Abiotic Factor. You know what, bro? It was close. I don't know if you're joking or not, but it was close.
That's so funny.
Final Fantasy VII Remake at number 9.
He picked it right.
He did. He got the right one. Number 8. This was one I kept off my honorable mentions, but it absolutely is in the contending for top 10. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was on. I put that on my list for you.
Yep. Yeah. Number 7, Mario Land 2, The Six Golden Coins. Also a fantastic guess.
Mm-hmm.
Super Metroid. Tojo and Earl. Suikoden 1. Final Fantasy 9. That's an interesting one, Alex. I'd like to know why. I think you probably thought 8. That would be my guess. Chrono Trigger, Earthbound. So he got 4 for me. All right, we good?
You got 4? Alex did? Okay.
Yep.
We're good.
Okay. Jaden. CG Jaden. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Number 10, Celeste.
Okay.
Perfect Dark. Ocarina of Time. Pokemon Red and Blue. Xenoblade 3. Tears of the Kingdom. Wind Waker. Pokemon Black and White. Metroid Prime. Super Metroid. You get that?
Blow through that one more time. Sorry.
Nope.
My ADHD brain died in the middle.
Celeste.
Okay.
Perfect Dark. Ocarina of Time. Red and Blue. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Tears of the Kingdom. Wind Waker. Pokemon Black and White. Metroid Prime. Super Metroid.
Okay.
You got it?
Got it.
Okay.
Well done, Jaden.
Okay. Now for me, he did good. I can see it. Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal, so Gen 2. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Link's Awakening. Minish Cap. Tojo and Earl. Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 8. Suikoden 5. Earthbound. Super Metroid. So we got 5 for me.
You got 5.
He remembered Suikoden 5 from that video, probably.
Dang. He got Suikoden. Man, that's pretty good.
He also edited the video for me, so he
He had to remember.
Yeah. All right. Homie Caleb, Shredder Rush.
Okay.
Here's James's. Perfect Dark.
Okay.
Animal Crossing. Smash Brothers. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. He put Madden.
Good job, dude. I'm giving you that one.
Super Metroid. Ocarina of Time. Metroid Prime. Tears of the Kingdom. And then he said Pokemon, which unfortunately is too broad. So
Yeah, probably.
I can't give you that. Assuming Pokemon is on his list.
Yeah.
But
You guys are all assuming very, very widely. Okay.
and for me, he put Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Mario 64. Second Knights of the Old Republic. RE4 or 7. Close. Final Fantasy 6 through 9, which that would be cheating, but it was a good guess. Pokemon Gen 3, 4, or 5. Once again, wrong, but close. Earthbound, Link's Awakening, ToeJam and Earl, Super Metroid. He got 4
Okay. Very good.
for me.
You did good.
Good job. And then lastly, just before we started recording, Joel.
Joel.
All right, you ready?
Last but not least.
Dude, Stardew Valley.
For me? Called
Yep,
it?
This is for you.
He
sorry.
called it!
Yep,
All
Stardew
right.
Valley, Metroid Dread,
Okay.
Super Mario World,
Okay.
Ocarina of Time,
Okay.
A Link to the Past,
Okay.
Xenoblade Chronicles 3,
Okay.
Metroid Prime,
All right.
Tears of the Kingdom,
All right.
Pokemon Black and White,
All right.
Celeste. You guys have like a little rivalry on Discord, but I think you guys are more in tune.
I think we understand each other.
because that was wildly close.
Wow. Joel.
Son of a gun, Joel. I think Joel might have won
He understands me.
because now we're at my list: Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Odyssey, ToeJam and Earl, Mario 64, Final Fantasy VIII, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Resident Evil 2 remake, Suikoden 2, Final Fantasy VII remake, which I consider them the same, so that's only one for remake and rebirth, and then Earthbound. So we got 4 for me.
You got 4 for you?
Yep.
You got 7 for me. Okay, all right. This is not maybe not the situation we wanted, but we have. Oh my goodness! 1 second here. We have a tie, friends and family.
Between who?
We have a 3-way tie.
Oh my God! Why did you guys have to do this to me?
No! This is a perfect storm of top 10 games of all time madness.
All right.
Okay.
I'm pausing the podcast for a second while we figure this out. Also, I need to switch over to another recording.
Okay.
So pausing, and then we'll come back in just a second. All right, we're back. We figured out the winner. It was a 3-way tie,
3-way tie.
but one person out of the 3 was the only one to guess 2 of ours in the correct spots. He guessed 1 from James and 1 from me in the correct spots. So if he's been paying close attention, he probably already knows he's won. But we're gonna hold off until until we finish our lists to announce the winner on here.
Yep.
So James, go ahead with your number 2 and finish off my list for me.
Arguably the best game of all time. Certainly your best game of all time, and for me, 1 and 2 honestly are so interchangeable. I was flip-flopping to the very last moments before we recorded this podcast. I'm flip-flopping right now as I'm speaking. This game is so good. It is
Snap.
one of the definitive and most iconic video game experiences. I think about it and I think happy thoughts every time. It is Super Metroid.
Yeah, that's my number 1, guys. Spoiler alert. I was really hoping you didn't have this up at like 5 or 6, because then I would have just been like, great game,
and
good pick.
And I didn't do this to pander or to make it close or to make it so we could talk about it at the same time. This game is arguably my favorite game of all time. It's like, for me, 1 and 2 was like, what matters to me more? What are my priorities here? What's my philosophy on what is my favorite game of all time? And again, Super Metroid, it's lauded, it's praised, it is worshipped on some level by video game players all over the world for good reason.
I mean, yeah, it's not only is it a great game, it helped define a subgenre of gaming. Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night created the Metroidvania subgenre.
Yep. And there's a reason that Metroid is is the first word in that phrase, and it's this game.
It's true.
You know?
Well, it came first, and obviously Metroid 1 and Metroid 2 have some of the elements, but Super Metroid, beyond what anybody could have imagined, perfected those elements.
Yeah.
Made a streamlined game that is so easy to go back to. It's an addicting world. The music never gets old. This is not a fact. Don't hold me to this statement, because it's not a statement. This is what I'm saying, but I do believe this is one of the games that really helped create and mold the speedrunner community that has since flourished into every game.
For sure.
I do being somewhat connected to the gaming world as a kid. Like, I remember hearing about speedruns of this way before, because obviously beating the game within a time limit gets you the secret. The great reveal of Samus without her suit on.
Yeah.
She's still clothed.
Yeah.
But it's not, then it became, how quickly can people beat it? How quickly can you do a run with as high of a percentage as you can get?
Yep.
I mentioned earlier, Earthbound was my number 1 game for years. And I still love Earthbound. It's my I have it at number 3. But there was a point in time, probably way after, I want to say it was at least probably around 20, like where I'd always been saying Earthbound, Super Metroid are my two favorite games. Earthbound #1.
Yeah.
And it was around the time when I was about 20ish years old where I was like, I realized I play Super Metroid every year. Like it's something that I just was doing.
Yeah.
Like people, like I loved Super Metroid. People, some of our friends would enjoy watching me play it because I could run through it so quickly. Because
Oh yeah, I do. Honestly, I love watching you play this game.
yeah, it had become fluidity to me. Like
Yeah.
I loved it, and like all of a sudden I'm like, God, I love this. Like I do. Like this is my #1 game, and that was a hard realization for me because like Earthbound was kind of part of who I was. Like
Yeah.
that sounds stupid, but like it was almost part of my identity. Like
Yeah.
as a collector, as a gamer, like I was Earthbound. But Super Metroid was the game where when I realized it, I will be surprised if anything ever truly overtakes it as #1, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Because some of these other series, like Earthbound, Final Fantasy VII Remake, the Resident Evil series, like I love these games.
Yeah.
I play these games. I love playing through multiple games in the series repeatedly for all of these. But I don't know, Super Metroid it hits these notes. One of the things I don't think I realized as a kid, but it has that slight horror vibe too.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
that I've grown to like appreciate in games. I
mean,
like it when things are kind of scary but not terrifying. I don't like being really scared, but
Before the title screen hits, like they're kind of like they're panning over this one screen where the Metroid tank is and it's broken out of, and they're panning across this laboratory, and you don't realize it when you're first playing this game, but there's literal like 16-bit dead bodies on the ground because the
beautiful.
Metroids killed these people.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever realized that, but like it's a pretty chilling opening.
And then to think that our new spokesperson for the X Button Gaming podcast, Dan Osen,
Yeah.
he voiced the most iconic line in video games.
And the only line that was necessary in this game.
Yeah. The last Metroid. What's he at? He's in captivity.
The galaxy is at peace.
Yeah, man.
But was it really at peace, though?
No.
Obviously not.
Not for long. Not for long.
Yeah. Oh, man, this game is so, so good. Like, I have so many memories of this game. Like, I feel like this is one of the video games that was very formative for me. Like we've talked about before, I was a baby. Like, I was a poor sport, a bad loser growing up when it came to video games. I'm much better now.
It's very true.
I'm actually a pretty good sport now.
He's a pretty good sport.
I'm a pretty
He's
good
actually
sport.
more of a poor winner than a loser now.
Oh yeah, but I remember very specifically exiting. That little the elevator room above North Fair. I think it's still technically Brinstar, but you cross over the glass tube that you eventually shatter with the power bomb to go into Meridia. You go right into that elevator room, and there's the super missile spot block on the bottom right. You power that to get to Kraid that you fight for the first time, and it's not an especially. Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so. Oh my gosh, there's so many details of these games that are so cool. The eyes on the boss doors that you have to blow open, and you're like, even to this day, when I blow those doors open, I feel a little bad because I'm like destroying this guy's eyesight, whoever this is.
It's like crying. Like there's.
This
sucks.
I'm just destroying your eyeball, and it's just so I can go to find this monster.
So mean. Or when you sit there and you just harvest the little flying things that come out of
Oh,
those
I
things.
know, yeah, they come out.
I need help. I guess I'll just murder all these.
Yeah, I wasted a lot of missiles, so you and your whole family have to die right now.
You keep coming out.
Yeah,
This is your fault.
you got lots of sisters and brothers. You'll all be fine. But I remember going to fight Kraid, and I remember it felt to me like a bit of an audience because I know Jordan was watching. I know my dad was watching. I don't think you were watching. I don't remember this,
so.
but it was the first time I ever played Kraid. And this is like me organically experiencing Super Metroid for the first time. Just like so locked in and immersed in this environment, and I got rocked by Kraid. I had no idea how to fire missiles and like dodge his little belly button spikes that he's launching at you, and he's
I hate it when this happens.
and I lost it, dude. I did a classic like 8-year-old James thing where I threw the controller and was like, I hate this game, and I ran to my room and I cried, and meanwhile my brother's making fun of me and my dad's like, stop being a baby. And like it was one of those like formative like just experiences in general where you're like, the difference between this and you getting to the end, the difference between you being like here and crying in your bedroom is just patience and trying harder. Like effort and a little bit of patience.
Getting
like
good.
Getting good. I
the
feel
kids say.
I don't know how kids experience that these days in video games. I'm sure they do on some kind of different level, but
Getting that victory royale in Fortnite, baby.
that's how you get it these days. I just have so many memories attached to this game, and like there's just the vibes of this game are the music and the atmosphere and the bosses and that room, the statue with all the bosses you have to fight, and like their little eyes light up when you knock one out, like Kraid or. I know the one and only knock that I hear people give is that like Meridia is too confusing and you get lost in there and it's hard to navigate, but I don't think that's a very good criticism. I think it's just a really cool and mazy atmosphere that you can, I don't know, like the things you stumble into in this game are incredible to me. The moments that just come at you left and right and are timed perfectly. The pace of this game is brilliant.
100%. And I only feel like any of the area, like Meridia or any area in the game, is only as confusing as it is until you figure it out.
Yeah.
Like once you play through the game once, maybe a long time in between you might forget, but it's not that confusing. Like I'm not trying to insult anybody, but like once, it's going to be hard the first time, but would you want a game to be that easy? Like the first time you go through, you need to, go through the maze and figure it out and then let it kind of naturally happen.
Yeah. And I don't know what there are so many good moments in this game, dude, but like one that always sticks out to me, and every time I go through this, I just like I get tingles because it's such a good moment in the game, is you're in Wrecked Ship, and Wrecked Ship is creepy. Like there's these like
that spot terrified me as a kid.
It's
like,
still creepy to this day. Like it's just so isolated, and like the monsters are
and the
different.
music, there's no music.
There's no music. You hear like the drips of water coming off the ceiling, like
there's just the robots that like
the weird robots and these weird like they're not ghosts, but they're like monsters that kind of like go and disappear. They go transparent and they come back, almost like Boo's in Super Mario World, but a lot freakier. They're not like goofy in any way.
They don't look nice.
And you go into that room, you find what feels like a hidden, I don't know, it feels like one of the great things of this game is finding all the hidden upgrades, finding hidden power-ups, and then the hidden suits. The suits in Metroid are one of the great things about Metroid, and finding ways to traverse things you couldn't traverse before, right? Like you when you realize that you have to stand on that Chozo statue in its hands, roll up in a morph ball, and then it grabs you like you're like a piece of bubble gum, and it clenches you and it walks you down those stairs to the room where you find not the Various suit, but what's the last suit? The Gravity suit?
The Gravity suit, yeah.
It is the most incredible feeling. And then you exit that room, and then you walk out into the incredible landscape where all the water was that approached Wrecked Ship, and you're just like, I can just walk in this now.
Yeah, like, it doesn't slow me down no more.
And the music's incredible. It's like
yeah,
like
it starts what like the fanfare, the trumpet, like the sound. It gets more epic.
Yeah,
because the game is telling you done it.
You did it, dude.
You did it, guy.
You just did one of the most magical moments in one of the best games ever. Like it almost knows it.
It does know it. That's what's insane. Like, and there's scenes in the game too, like. I had to look up its name because I couldn't remember, but the Crocomire, the red dude that you have to you don't fight him and beat him, you push him back into the lava.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, that's still when I do that, I'm always like, God, that poor dude.
Yeah.
Like I know he was trying to fight me, but I didn't want to kill him like that.
Oh man, I know.
And then he pops back up, and you think the skeleton's gonna come for you, and it just collapses.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then. Like, I know this is, like, spoilery, but, I mean, come on. It's Super Metroid.
It's Super Metroid. This is,
also, story's not its main thing, but the end of the game.
Oh, dude.
With the Metroid.
Oh, my
when
God.
it sucks your health out and you're almost dead, and then it has the moment where it realizes, oh, you're the one that saved me. I can't kill you.
Yeah.
And it leaves, and then at the climactic battle when it almost, the mother brain fight, like, you feel like you're making progress, and then it becomes impossible.
Yeah.
And it is, like, you have a moment, as a kid, you're like, what the heck, man? Like... I thought I beat her, and now I can't do anything, and she's just destroying me. And then the Metroid comes and saves your life, and basically turns you into a god.
Oh my god! I know. And then I don't even know what that phaser amazing beam of light is that you have from your cannon arm, but it's incredible.
Dude, it's so good, and that never ceases to like give me chills when I play.
Yeah.
It's such a well done emotional thing, and you know, as a kid, I didn't play Metroid 2. Like I didn't play Metroid 1. Super Metroid was my entry into Metroid.
Yeah.
So like I didn't realize that it was story connected, you know, from 2. This is the Metroid at the end of Metroid 2 that you save. You know, that's pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
they didn't do as much of that back then, like intertwined story between their games. It was Zelda 1 to 2, it was just a new Zelda, you know.
That little Metroid pup implanted on you. It loved you or something. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, like you were surprised I didn't have A Link to the Past number 1, and obviously this was a debate I had to figure out. I was like, is A Link to the Past or is Super Metroid my favorite Super Nintendo game? I had to figure that out. I was like, those are just, they're the two, to me and to many, they're the two Super Nintendo goats. Like, it's either one or the other. And to be fair, the library is incredible. A lot of people, it's Earthbound or Chrono Trigger 2 that are just as high or more than these games. But for me, it was those two, and it was just like, Super Metroid is such a tight, compelling, epic, and rewarding experience from beginning to end. It's never tedious. It's never monotonous. You're rewarded for every ounce of exploration you do. The game, like you said, it even teaches you, I think, to speedrun. You remember that little room in the bottom of Brinstar where those little creatures are teaching you to wall jump or whatever? Like, I don't feel like at any point in the game do you need to use wall jumping to, like, advance or beat the game, but it makes it a lot easier, and it's really cool, you know?
Yeah, it is.
But for speedrunning purposes, you absolutely need to know how to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that the world was so lively, and you have these creatures that help you, and you have the creatures that hurt you, and it's just such a good game. And I don't know that I could, I'm not a music buff by any means, but I don't know that I could speak more highly about the music in this game. Each area's music is so fitting to the vibe of the area.
Yeah, dude.
And it's iconic. It is. It's iconic.
It's one of my favorite video game vinyls for sure. It's very treasured. And I'm going to go listen to it soon because we're talking about it right now. But
well, it's a good number 2 and a great number 1 for me.
Yeah, and it could be easily number 1 for me too. And by tomorrow, it probably will be, just thinking about it and re-listening to this episode. And
Dang
all
it.
that. I made a mistake! What do you think? What do you think my number 1 is?
Dude, it's got to be Pokemon Black and White.
You are ding, 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 ding! All right.
I mean, obviously I had it high on your list. I didn't think number 1, but I'm not surprised Pokemon is number 1 still. Like,
it's almost like ceremonial. It's a ceremonial choice almost, right? Like, my number 1 pick is Pokemon Black and White. But I had to pick a Pokemon game because this is a top 10 list. I couldn't just say every Pokemon game.
Yeah.
But me selecting Pokemon White is like also saying I'm selecting Pokemon Red. I'm selecting Pokemon Gold. I'm selecting Pokemon Emerald. I'm selecting Pokemon Platinum. I'm selecting Pokemon Black and White, Pokemon Black and White 1 and 2, Scarlet and Violet. Like, these are the games that mean the most to me to this day.
Everybody knows that. And that's why everybody had at least one Pokemon on their guest list for you.
If I have to pick one, it's Black or White. And it is a cop out to say like Pokemon in general. I feel like it is. And what's funny too is I wanted to look at other like best Pokemon lists online, and I found one that IGN did for like the best best Game Boy Advance games. And at the top of their list, number 1, they said the DS generation, or no, sorry, this was the DS list. My bad. Best games entirely, top 25 DS games, and number 1 was the DS generation of Pokemon games. And I was like, didn't sit well with me. I was like, that's like a cop out. Like, are you just
feel like a cop out?
Like, are you guys doing that because you're kind of scared to say Black and White and get like flack from people? But like the truth is, like, that generation of Pokemon games, unbelievable. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Pokemon Platinum, and Diamond and Pearl by extension. Black and White 1 and 2, which many people think 1 and 2 is actually much better than Black and White, or at least superior in some ways. Like, this was Pokemon at its peak.
Yeah.
Black and White was Game Freak doing what people claim they're never willing to do, which is do something bold, do something that nobody's expecting, and that is walk away from Bulbasaur, walk away from Squirtle and Charmander and ultimately
And Pikachu.
Pikachu and Charizard, right? Like they, for the first time, gave us a brand new dex. They were
The
willing.
only time so far since the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, and that's probably why some people consider Black 1 and 2, White 1 and 2 to be better, because they opened up the decks and brought back people's classics and favorites too, and
Well,
mix
even
them
by
in.
the end of the game, you could get them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just that you couldn't get anything until you beat the Elite Four.
Yeah. Pokemon Black and White has some of the best sprite work, some of the coolest Pokemon, some of the most memorable tunes. It is the Pokemon region that is based off America. And this isn't an American pride thing at all, because anybody that knows me knows I don't exactly have American pride. I love where I live. But it is kind of funny to think that I think that some of the best music in the Pokemon universe comes from the Pokemon game that's inspired by America, of all places.
This is America.
This is America. Yeah. It's easily, I don't think it's even a competition. It's easily the best story.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to spoil anything, because honestly, I'm looking forward to playing it again. And I forget little details that kind of elude me, but it's easily the best story. The protagonist is super compelling. The baddies are super compelling. N is super cool. I'm trying to think of the bad guy at the end. what's his name again? It's
I can't remember.
what's
It's been too long.
they give you so many names to remember in Pokemon that you forget some of the characters' names sometimes. You know, even
Come on,
the
I
gym
remember
leaders.
over 1,100 Pokemon names.
Yeah, but I can't
What do
remember
you
this
want from
guy's
me?
name. I'll
N
get.
was easy. It's one letter.
Yeah, yeah. But beyond that, this was the first game too where they started dipping and taking seriously the concept of competitive Pokemon. It was the first Pokemon game where I became familiar with competitive concepts, and we've talked about
And
this
he's
in
literally never been the same.
I've never been the same since this
Literally.
game. Literally never been the same. I mean, we've talked about it before. We did get together and play Pokemon games growing up. You know, we'd say, okay, we're going to meet at level 50, 3 Pokemon versus 3 Pokemon, a la the anime, and it was great. You know, sometimes you'd win, sometimes I would win. It was great, but this opened up a whole new world, and it goes beyond that, because once I became familiar with competitive Pokemon, and we started with singles, eventually doubles became something we embraced.
Took a while.
Took a while, but I'm so glad we did it, because it's so good.
Doubles is good.
It's great. This game means so much more than video games to me. It means friends. It means family. It means Pokemon Worlds. It means regionals. It means the Pokemon tournament that we started together, and the people in it that to this day are my best friends. They're the people I love the most. They're you. They're
Even
they're
the ones
Jordan.
we
They're
pour a little
Alex.
liquor out
They're yeah. Even
Our fallen
no, it's true.
homies.
They're the friends that have come and gone that we never see or hear from anymore, that I still think about to this day. And I can remember the teams that they ran. I can remember the Pokemon they brought. I can remember their leads, their move sets on those leads. I can remember, stuff like that, dude. Like that's what
It's
Pokemon
true.
Black and White is to me. You know.
Yeah, there was a definite shift, because, like he said, we always played Pokemon.
Yeah.
This is. I remember it was Platinum first. Was the one where
was.
you bought Platinum, and it was. This is a weird thing to say, but there was it was obvious he was appreciating Pokemon differently, and I didn't get it yet.
Yeah.
Because I kind of fell off with Diamond and Pearl, and then Black and White came out, and then the competitive conversation started. And I don't think I was registering it at all, but it was but you were I'm gonna do it. Let's go to the beach house. We're gonna play. We're gonna have a tournament. I was like, all right, I'll play Pokemon for a weekend, at the beach. Sure.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, but then history was made, and it's we did it for years.
Yeah.
Competitive Pokemon started because of Black and White.
It did. And honestly, for us, yeah, it entered our consciousness, competitive Pokemon. But for a lot of other people, it did too, and it's because they embraced, hidden abilities.
Mm-hmm. Well, God, even it was so convoluted, but even the Dream World, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a cool aspect. You had to send your Pokemon literally to the Pokemon website,
Yes.
where it would hang out for a while, and that was the only way you could get the hidden abilities. It was a challenge, but it made making your team feel accomplished. It made it feel like you really put this work into it.
Yeah.
Now it's also easy, and that's a good thing too, because we're not young anymore. We're not single anymore.
No.
Things have changed. I'm glad it's easier, but that time period with that stuff, and like you mentioned, like starting over fresh with 150 new Pokemon, and the story actually being compelling, which it hadn't been on any of the handheld,
No.
the main entries.
Nope.
And then you touched on it a little bit, but Black and White 2 are a sequel. They are
They're
actually additional story.
Yeah.
It's not just like most people, I think, that didn't play them assume that it's like Yellow, Crystal, Platinum, Emerald, or even like the deal. No, that's not a good.
No, it's true.
example.
People view the third entry basically as money grabs with like basically a little bit of DLC content. But
Yeah, and they might have been better in their own right, but this was different than those. This
Yes.
was a true sequel.
yes,
like
they unpacked like some of the same characters and like what played out after the events of Black and White 1.
yeah,
And to this day, how much are those worth, CIB again?
they're like $200 each. They're
That's-
expensive.
Yeah, they're really
But there's a reason, because once you play Black and White, you should play Black and White too.
And I feel like Black and White was the first time too that the haters came out. They're like, oh, these
This is
guys.
the first time we heard it.
It
There
could be
have been
it could be
haters
the
since Gen 2.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, honestly, Gen 1ers have been around since the very beginning, and
Since Gen 1.
since Gen 1. And I love you guys. I really do. I love the guys that you love, but you got to open your mind, people. It's a much bigger, brighter world out there, and Black and White is one of the best examples of that. And I love it so much, and it's just a part of my life, a big part of it. And I
Yeah.
think that's why I chose it over Super Metroid. Do I think Super Metroid objectively is probably a better game than Black and White? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
But-
just a different game. And that's what these lists are to us, though, is they're not just the 10 best games of all time.
No.
That would be a completely different list. I could objectively make a 10 best game of all time list.
Yeah.
These are our 10
Yes.
favorite games of all time.
Though if you look on Metacritic, Black and White are rated very well. So
And that's true, but that's not the point. The
No,
point
it's not.
is
It's not.
that these are our 10 favorite games. And we have a little crossover. Obviously, it's nice that we both have Super Metroid. Do we have any other crossover?
did we have any other crossover?
I don't think we did. We had a lot of honorable mention crossover between
for
us,
sure.
But
No. Wow. Pretty cool, actually. Super Metroid is where we come together.
come together.
Oh well, Chris, Pokemon.
Well, sure. We both have
Because,
a Pokemon
like I said,
entry.
Black and White is a ceremonial pick because picking a
means so
single
much,
Pokemon
yeah.
game is freaking impossible to me. It's so hard. But
It's somewhat easy for me, but that doesn't mean that I don't love a
No.
lot of them.
because okay, what I should say is it's really hard for me to pick between Red, Gold, and this game.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Yeah.
They all have different like reasons why they have such strong memories attached to them.
Yeah.
So that's a good list, man. I think both of our lists are strong,
I love it, dude.
and I look forward to hearing people's thoughts on our lists. You know, like what there's not agreeances here because there are personal lists, but I look forward to hearing what people think of them, like what surprised them, what they were like, I knew it, I should have put that. I look forward to hearing that feedback from people.
Yeah.
So before we retrack and say who the winner is, I'm going to recap both of our top 10 lists
Okay.
from 10 down. So for James, actually I didn't keep track of it. James, give your top 10 list from 10 down.
10, Madden NFL 2005. 9, Xenoblade. 6, Stardew Valley. 5, Tears of the Kingdom. 4, A Link to the Past. 3, Metroid Prime. 2, Super Metroid. 1, Pokemon Black and White. / all the Pokemon games.
How many did you get right on my list? I don't think you beat me.
I don't think I beat you.
I got 7 of yours.
Dang, you nailed it.
I'm a better friend.
Sure, you just know me better. Well, my problem is that my brain is flawed and I forget things immediately as soon as it
That's true.
enters them.
But you did, like, on some of them, like, you were close.
Yeah, like, if I
Suikoden
picked
2 instead of 5, that's not that
if I
big
picked
of a...
RE2 instead of RE4.
You were close. Final Fantasy 7 OG instead of remake. Like,
Yeah.
Three of them were, like, they were right there. Like,
So I got So I had 3 and you had 7.
I don't know how many you got right for
It's a
sure.
landslide, maybe. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Was that ever in your
It's in my top 20.
Top 20?
It should have been on my honorable mentions, but
Okay.
it's not. I forgot to write it down.
Yeah.
But it didn't make my top 10.
I missed on Link's Awakening. I figured I thought a Zelda game would make it in, but I guess I'm not super surprised either because you tend to skew more like RPG / action. So
Yeah, and I love Zelda. Like Link's Awakening, Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
even
Oh,
you know, Minish Cap. Like I love Minish Cap, but
Yeah.
they just
No, it's all good. No worries at all.
So my 10 from 10 down: Uncharted 3, SteamWorld Dig, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, ToeJam and Earl, Suikoden 5, Pokemon Gen 2, so Gold, Silver, Crystal, or Soul Silver, Heart Gold,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 7 Remake plus Rebirth, Earthbound, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Super Metroid. So I'm sure that the person's probably figured it out now. But there was a 3-way tie. It was between Joel, Ryan, and
Jaden.
And then so Joel and Ryan each had one of our guesses correct in the right spot, but Jaden ended up having 2 guesses correct in the right spot, and that is what we had determined and said in the rules that we would use as a tiebreaker. So Jaden is the winner. What's funny?
Ding 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 ding
You
ding.
did it. You got James's ding 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 sound.
Woo!
And what's funny is he must have been pretty confident in his guess, because he put a spoiler tag in it, so I couldn't read it until I unlocked the spoiler tag. He had said, "I want you to read this message if I win."
Who said this?
Jaden.
Oh.
And he said, "Ignore this if I lose." But he won. He said, "Okay, I removed a few of my joke answers to increase my chances to get this for the one who I think deserves it the most. He's working hard over there at Fishkill." Oh, that's Zach. Dang it. He's working hard over there at Fishkill, New York, and he's the fastest Mario 64 Ratatouille speedrunner I know personally. Our good friend, Ben Livid.
Nice.
He would appreciate this even more than I would. The Galaxy games are in his top 5, and I figured he'd want to check out the extra
Aw,
Rosalina
man.
storybook content they're adding in Mario Galaxy 2. Enjoy, boyo.
What a
Said
bro.
like Jar Binks, and happy anniversary at Xbutt. Jaden, this is why you're
Xbutt.
the best.
That dude.
I
you
appreciate
are.
that, and if you in case he doesn't listen to it right away, I'll message you directly when this goes live, and get his address from you, because I'm going to pre-order it and have it sent directly to him.
What a bro.
That's very nice of you.
That's very nice. In an episode that started on to some level with me talking about games he gave me, he ends it by giving more games away.
Yeah, you're a good guy, Jaden,
He's a giver.
and we appreciate you. And you did a good job guessing your list. And you know what? People may have argued before, like, "Oh, I should have gotten it because of this." Nobody's going to argue now over you winning.
Because you gifted it
Not only
immediately.
did you win, you gifted it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, to give credit to everyone else. So Ryan, Jaden, and Joel scored 11, which is really good.
Yeah.
Rob scored 9. Kel, 7. Hannah, 10. You were 1 short of a 4-way tie, Hannah. And Hannah wanted me to tell everyone that her strategy, other than knowing who I am, for getting a higher score, was that she went and slid down the transcripts of some of the episodes, some of our best of episodes. And she was like searching key phrases, like, and trying to find like what the games were that like mattered to us the most. And she did pretty good. So
Yeah.
I didn't know you could look up like transcripts and search phrases in like Spotify, for example. But that maybe it was Apple Music she did it on. I can't remember exactly. But I was
terrifying.
like, you can PI podcast basically and find really specific details if you're looking for them.
Yeah, that's weird.
But hey, good job, Hannah. You gave it a good shot. Alex, +7. Caleb, +9. Just too short. People did pretty good, actually.
Caleb did really good. And if he just would have fine-tuned a couple of his answers, if he would have managed to get them right, he would have probably won, because he got Pokemon. He knew some of like the series, he just didn't get the game.
And he got my Madden guess, too, which I appreciate.
Yep. So all in all, like, yeah, it was only 8 people that entered, but I appreciate it. I'm glad that you know everyone who entered seemed to enjoy doing it. And it was fun. It's fun to see like how people listen, what people retain. Like, it means a lot. It's nice to know that people care enough to listen to the podcast and
Absolutely.
and have fun with stuff like this. And like, I've wanted to do a giveaway for a while, and I'm glad that we could do something that people enjoyed. So
Yep, and the giveaway is going to somebody who has those games on their top 10 list, and that is so fitting, which is great.
Yep. No, but thanks again, everybody, for participating. And for those who didn't, and for whatever reason, that's all right.
You're dead to us.
Next time. But James says you're dead to him. So
No, hey, I'm glad that our lists are out in the open. They will change, for sure, over the course of time. But I'm curious what people think, and I'm curious where things will slide. Like, will my Xenoblade Chronicles 3 go up or go down, depending on how I process the rest of the series? Will Stardew go up or down, depending on how farther I get in it?
Yeah, anything could change, and that's like me. Like I genuinely loved Abiotic Factor.
Yeah.
and I know it's a little bit of a joke after the last episode, but like
Yeah.
as I continue to play it, like I could see it being in my top 10. I don't know what that means. Like I don't know how I would adjust things, but for what it is right now, I'm very like I do feel like my top 10 is my top 10, and it took me a long time to settle and make this list because it's hard for me to move so many things out of the top 10.
Yeah. It
But
is hard.
It was fun. I'm glad we did it. I'm glad you joined me.
It was good. It was good, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, it's been a
minute.
We're on a long episode again. I genuinely thought maybe this one would be a little quicker because the opening didn't go as long. Anyway, who am I kidding? We don't know how not to talk.
Yeah. It's a top 10.
Yeah, it is. Any final thoughts?
Take care of yourselves, people.
Take good care. The world's crazy out there. Yeah, but thanks again, everybody, for listening. Hopefully, in 4 more years, we'll still be here, and we'll start the trend of doing anniversary giveaways every 4 years.
Well,
That's normal. People usually do it on 5-year
at
anniversaries.
the pace we're on, it won't be too long before you hit episode 100, Chris, and you're going to have to do something on episode 100.
That's true.
Something crazy.
Party, we'll rent out the Tacoma Dome. That's the only place they can fill
Oh
all
my gosh,
fans.
a live recorded episode? That'd be honestly pretty sick.
I have thought about dabbling in the live recordings.
Dude, that'd be pretty cool.
So that people who want to watch it live can, and then they'll, post it still for everybody else.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing video too as well, to adding things. Nothing's for sure yet because I'm not smart enough to do that stuff naturally. So
No worries.
I have to come up with ways to do it, or somebody help me along. But I'm not in any rush. One day we'll get there. But I've got the momentum again to keep recording. It was a rough summer, but things have kind of balanced out. So I've got good ideas again, and people have been giving me good ideas. So anyway,
Sweet.
it's enough rambling.
No worries.
But yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate having you on here.
Love you, man. It was
We've
good.
We've been friends for a long time, and I'm just a better friend because I knew your list better than you know mine.
I'm just a little sad we couldn't have the exact same favorite game of all time, but
It was close.
It's very close.
It was close.
It's very close.
I like that we only had one overlap, and it was basically our number one.
Basically, number one.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, when I say it was hard to gift you that Super Metroid Player's Guide, it was hard.
But now you've proven why it was a worthy thing, because it's my favorite game of all time.
Very hard.
Yeah, no, I know. I can't imagine. It would have been hard to hand it away.
Yeah.
You're crying as you do it, holding on.
I don't want to do this. Okay.
All right. Well, thanks again, man. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thanks, guys.
You're very much appreciated. I know I've said that a lot.
Guys
this
and gals,
episode,
we love
but
you.
You guys are the best. You guys and gals are the best. Much love to all of you. Yeah, and follow me, watch the YouTube, yada yada, and remember to always press X to continue.